Happy Friday, everybody. Tifa, why do I ask you if you can press the button for us to start the stream and then you say yes, but then you say no?
Because I suddenly had to sneeze. My nose is itchy.
Hello, Mortenard, congrats on being first. Have you fully recovered yet? How are you doing? Also, hello, Honest Psycho. Hi, when you read this.
Happy Friday, everyone. I have two things.
Two. That's
One.
Twice the amount of one.
One is let's talk about capitalism. If like
Capitalism,
us,
boo!
oh no, boo! If like us you've ordered anything on Prime Day, I would recommend checking your orders again and the products you have bought. Because by coincidence, I clicked on my order today and I was still really annoyed that the stuff I bought on Prime Day won't be delivered until Monday. And I'm like, I want it now.
True first world problem.
I want it yesterday. And then I was looking at the order and I accidentally clicked on one of the items.
Fuck Prime Day. Yes, all of my homies hate Amazon and Prime Day.
But then I clicked on one of the items that I ordered that's supposed to come on Monday. And it's like, it's an extra $15 off. This is now way cheaper than it was on Prime Day. And it gets delivered tomorrow.
So, when we ordered the stuff on
Prime
Amazon,
Day with the big sales.
On Prime Day, I made sure to double check with every single item that it wasn't cheaper before Prime Day. They weren't. It's cool, right? It's an actual offer then. It's a sale. Might as well buy them.
We only bought like 3 things, but still.
Yeah, but still. So we did, then shipping took longer than it usually does because we're blessed. Usually we get it like the next day or the day after, which super awesome. But now it's said Monday, Tifa gets like all like, I want it today. So she gets...
I was looking forward to my items.
She gets bored enough to double check and now it's cheaper than it was during the sale. And I'm thinking like, why?
So I literally just reordered everything again and cancelled the other order that was, I'm gonna guess, being shipped tomorrow. And now I got it even cheaper.
Yeah, and now
and
not
faster.
Only do we get the items 2 days early, we also save like $20 total. And I'm thinking like,
it's kind of stupid.
Why? This is dumb on all accounts.
So yeah, if you did buy anything, I suggest doing the same and double check your sales because you never know.
Prime Day is entirely marketing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
The nightmare that was the Prime Day Twitch stream.
No, I didn't. I didn't hear anything about that.
What happened? Also, what is a Prime Day Twitch stream?
A Twitch stream to coincide or promote Amazon Prime Day?
How much can you do in a stream to promote that?
I don't know, but apparently you can ruin it.
But no, I haven't heard of anything like that.
It's a scam to rip off stupid people. Yes, and I feel like...
I felt like we were smart by even checking the prices beforehand to see if it's actually cheaper.
What really messes with me though is, like, the delivery thing, it's fine. We set the order back then. I don't understand why they wouldn't ship hours earlier, because clearly they are in stock.
Sometimes that happens, I have no clue why. Maybe on Prime Day they just expect higher...
You know, stuff gets automated, I get it, maybe that's why.
Rate.
That's not the end of the day. What I really don't understand with Amazon is, like, when you pre-order video games, I know they have this feature where you put in your pre-order at, let's say, $60. And if the price of a game drops by the time they ship it, you get the difference back. That's how it should be everywhere, if you ask me. That shouldn't be an Amazon customer service feature. What I don't get then is, Amazon has one of the most amazing, if you will, customer services. You can just ship things back after 2 weeks, after a month with some items, and you get your money back, no questions asked. If your prices fluctuate that much, first of all, why do they do that? Second of all, why do you make me get the item worst case, then order it again so that I ship the first one back so that I save money? First of all, have prices remain level.
No, that's not how marketing works, though. Like, I'm quite sure Amazon has some sort of script running that the moment it gets cheaper, someone else, they get a ping. Because if a company outside of Amazon has a sale, Amazon will match it within a couple of hours or get under it.
But do you honestly want to tell me that the whole shipping things back to get a refund on the item you got first and then ordering it again for cheaper is good?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon pays like 10 cents a box for
that's
shipping.
Disgusting. That's disgusting. It shouldn't be like that. A bunch of influencers with a bunch of shitty games and production was absolutely through the floor. Well, they have to save the money somewhere. They can't just keep saving it on the Twitch servers. Hi Twitch. Amazon has great customer service. Hard disagree.
We've never had an issue with customer service at all. And when we had an issue with a product or anything, it was solved like immediately.
I don't like Amazon as a company and I hate their politics. But compared to the other options we've got over here, Amazon customer service is amazing. Now, from a customer standpoint, not from a whole like
if you look behind
global level
correct.
Where then you might wonder, hey, now I'm dealing with a person, like the grammar is kind of off. So this seems like they're just using templates, which is fine. I'm not that unique, but I need a personally written statement every time. I don't care. I've got the same problems as everybody else. But like the grammar is slightly off. So they're getting people that have a, let's say, basic grasp of the language. And usually that still works. But if you have anything but a standard issue, sometimes we have trouble understanding. And I don't blame the other person working there. Like they just need to get paid too. It's a job. But I would like it if a person on the other end would understand me in the language that we both chose to communicate in. I can do English, I can do German, but well, sometimes it doesn't quite work.
You know who has crap customer service? Nintendo.
Yeah, remember that? My account got hacked. I spent an hour on hold and another hour trying to explain the concept of being hacked to the customer service. I am so sorry you had to go through that. With me, it was solved in 5 minutes.
Yeah, with us they went like, oh, we already preemptively blocked your account because this doesn't look like what you usually order.
Yeah.
Quite sure you got hacked. And then it was like, okay, unhacked, change everything.
Yeah, please get in touch with your credit card company. I fully get it. I fully get why then you would feel this way.
Yeah.
But for me, like we've talked about this back when it happened, like
very lucky.
Late last year. 5 minutes. That's all it took when my account was saved. And that was just a matter of me finding another email address to use and stuff and then putting a new password. With me, they were amazing. But what you're describing, I've had with other companies over here. Like brick and mortar stores, like chains that were established that kind of like started like suffering when Amazon became a bigger thing over here. I fully get that. That's why I don't go to those places anymore.
Ranger, happy Friday as well. Love a good Daddy Besa stream.
Always.
Don't we all?
Sponsored by 140% quarterly turnover rate for employees. That was the disclaimer we said. I don't like Amazon as a company. I don't like their like means of operations. Purely as an egoistic customer point of view, they have the best option over here, at least from my experience.
Yeah. But that seriously sucks. So that kind of sounds like you got a new person.
Yeah. I didn't place this order that's going to an address in a different country, but it came from your account. Like I said, my account was hacked. I sent you a proof, but the order came from your account. That means you...
It's not possible for people to log in that's not you. We have like pupil checks and voice recognition. Yeah, like a retina scan.
Then say that, because I think a pupil in English is a student.
Isn't a pupil also in your...
No, that's Pupille and that's German.
No, Pupille is German.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but pupil. You can say pupil. Look up pupil.
Pupil, a person who is taught by another, especially a school child or student in relation to a teacher.
Pupil of the eye.
Another meaning is a trainee barrister.
Pupil of the eye. It's a thing.
The dark circular opening in the center of the iris of the eye. That's the other meaning. True.
The pupil is in your eye. That kind of sounds
extra. If you have a
deep.
student in your eye, you should get your eye and the student checked. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I know.
But Psycho, unfortunately, I have to agree with you. No ethical consumption under capitalism, but I like my cheap clothing. If I was like a millionaire, I would probably look for
if I had the amount of disposable
expensive
income where I don't need to look at my spending, I would
non-children
do
made
the
clothing
ethical
or shoes.
thing and go to all the right stores. Unfortunately, I'm not quite there. Yes. By a long shot. Most people don't call students pupils. Tifa isn't most people. I get your point.
You're the one that's going there. I don't call them. Would I call them pupils?
Wait. I'm sorry. True. Let's go back 5 seconds. I just realized I just did the thing that Tifa sometimes does, and then I give her shit for it. True. I said it, not her. Tifa, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Motanat, I'm sorry.
There you go.
You have a point. I still feel like it's her fault. At least know it as a second definition. Yeah, you have a point, I guess. Yeah. Also, Ranger is a statistic. Congratulations. Only way I could be a millionaire is I'd have to start off as a billionaire.
Or just get a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah. Even if you win the lottery and invest everything by a fund manager, it will be invested in companies like Nestle. Yeah, I do so wish I could earn money off stocks in a company that literally sold products to mothers that poisoned and killed their children. No. I have a recurring dream ever since I'm like old enough to understand what the lottery is, that one day I win the lottery and I just never have to worry about money again.
Everyone poor has had, or not poor, everyone from working class has had that dream before.
Everyone not rich who ever had any responsibilities in their lives wishes at some point, I wish I didn't have them. And money usually goes a long way. I could pay other people to take care of things for me. That would be nice.
Absolutely.
Unless you find 10 tons of solid gold in your attic, no ethical anything.
I got the
closest next thing. I found Tifa.
How sweet.
Not in an attic, but still.
I have a very bad feeling though that if you would find 10 tons of solid gold and you would try to cash that in, the government would come like, oh, this is a long lost treasure.
Where'd you find that?
This is ours.
Yeah, especially I believe Germany has a weird sort of history with quite the lot of gold having gone missing circa 80 years ago now. Yeah, I would not want to find that. Was the gold ethically mined? That's the next good question. Is it like blood diamonds? I forgot about that. The Swiss didn't. Did I say that or not? I'm sorry. That's not a secret.
For Tifa, it would have to be 10 tons of pence out of solid gold.
Yes, very true. Think about winning the lottery all the time. Same every time I see an advertisement.
Even without buying tickets, we dream of winning the lottery. Like
this is true.
A couple weeks ago in Germany, or in Europe, there's this
Euro jackpot. 120 million.
Yeah, 120 million. It's like, what are we gonna do with 120 million?
I have plans.
That's a nice amount.
All my half of the money is all accounted for. That's not a joke. I've had plans since I was like 15.
And then I was like,
I just need your money. I just need to win.
If we buy tickets on the rare case, I buy them. And then there is no half of your money.
When are we gonna marry Tifa?
I don't know you.
So, which finger do you want me to put the ring on? Tell me. People would have a feeling I've won is because they'd never see me again. Yeah. If I ever win a lottery jackpot, I will not tell people. I will tell Tifa. I think all of you would be able to tell because I would be streaming more often and I wouldn't talk about work anymore. But other than that, I would not tell a soul. Nah. Also, hello Benjima, happy Friday. How are you doing?
High. See 20 million, I'm like, not enough.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you already feel like, okay, the chance of winning is going to be really low. So not really worth risking the money yet. But if you see the big numbers, like 69 million, it's like, yep.
Euro jackpot used to cap out at 90 million, now at 120 million. And when it gets there, I'm like, this would be okay. I would be fine with that.
we once almost won the jackpot.
That was so painful.
We had our numbers, and I kid you not, every number was like a plus or -1 from the number we picked. Every single number.
I hated myself that
It
day.
was really painful.
Yeah. We would have had 5 plus with 2 extra numbers. No, 1 extra number.
And if you already lose, it's like, okay, bad luck, shit. That...
Did you post that on Reddit because of that? No, we didn't.
No, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was quite a while.
I think it happens to more people, and like it's not a huge amount of people that this happens to, but when it happens,
It's
it
like
stings.
extra shitty luck.
It stings so much. So God is trolling. Basically, yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought it was like you never play the usual numbers or something. Oh, that.
And we don't even have usual numbers.
I do.
But that extra sucks. Like sometimes you read of these stories of... I think there was even one person who tried to sue some lottery company.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it was in the Netherlands or somewhere else. And it was like, okay, I have been playing for 10 years, every single month. I took a break
Just
because
this
I
one
couldn't
time I
afford it.
didn't.
It was like when your entire street could win and everyone in that street could get money. And
Like a zip code lottery or something.
Yeah, exactly. And this person has been playing for so long, quit because they never won anything, and then like 1 month later, the jackpot hit in that street. Everyone got like 100,000 except for this
Not
person,
this
and
person.
it's like, wow.
Mian's gonna talk about those stories and how I just find a bridge. Unfortunately, I understand it. Yeah, it's... I think I would need therapy after that. Yeah. Like, that emotional roller coaster. To be this close. This close.
That's it, no?
And to just
That's the thing.
piss it away because of dumb luck or something. Or if it was Leanne's fault, how I'd win every argument by saying, well, remember the time you forgot to play the lotto numbers? Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
I'd cry every single time.
No relationship was ever meant to withstand that kind of argument. It doesn't matter how much you love each other. If there's like 69 million on the line, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
I use the same thing every now and then when it comes to a certain USB stick.
Yeah, tell the story again. Come on, make people know. Hello, Just Aki. Happy Friday. How are you doing? You are about to learn me doing something really dumb a decade ago. Tell them, Tifa. Tell them again. This is 100% true.
We're going into this again. So, I think we all know about cryptocurrency, all of that stuff.
It's a scam. Don't do it.
Basically, it feels like it. And like years ago when Dogecoin, I can never pronounce it, when Dogecoin just came out, we were joking about this one day is going to take off, and we started mining it.
Real quick. We didn't. I did.
Okay, you started
I even bought
mining
a like high-end GPU at that point for it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was there when Bitcoin happened. I was there when Litecoin became a thing, and I missed those trains. The next dumb, stupid thing I saw people get hyped about for no reason was Dogecoin. And I was thinking, this is so dumb.
It's gonna be something
at some point, just because of the power of memes, it's gonna be worth something. I'll start mining. And so I did.
So we did.
For half a year straight, 24/7.
I think you mined around 400,000.
330,000 Dogecoin.
There you have it. 330,000. We spent like
$100,000
$100 worth of electricity mining that.
200.
And we put the wallet that had the coins in it on a USB stick and put it away.
Yes, as
and
you
we're
do.
Like,
because
one day,
this is an investment. I wanted the GPU anyway because video games YOLO. But I spent $200 on an investment. Now I've got 330,000 Dogecoin. I will put them in a wallet. Like I'll take the file, put it on a USB stick, make copies, and then I'll put it away. And maybe in 10 years they're worth something.
And
Worst
10
case,
years later, all of a sudden, Dogecoin went.
And then Elon Musk happened.
Yeah, and we were like, we have Dogecoin. And I was like, we need to sell them now. And Jack's like, no, I'm gonna hold on. It's gonna be worth more. I'm like, we're gonna find We're gonna find that USB stick right now and we're going to sell them because on that stick is 150,000 bucks.
No,
basically.
50,000.
No, it was.
Peak was 50,000.
No, it was more than that.
Peak was 50,000, Tifa.
Doesn't matter. It was a lot of money that I do not have. And I was looking everywhere for that USB stick. I kid you not, this entire house was flipped upside down. Couldn't find it. I was quite sure it wasn't like this airplane USB stick. We eventually found that, but there was nothing on it or it got corrupt. I called his dad. I made his dad throw out his entire basement, look through every box to find that USB stick, and it was never found again. That USB stick is gone.
Apparently, I want you to look at Tifa's reaction when I tell her this. Tifa, what would you do if I told you that at some point for a split second it actually peaked at $0.682? Wait, dollars? Did I see that right?
Yes, it almost got to $1.
No, wait, that means it wasn't 50,000. It was 225,000.
I told you it was like 150,000 when I wanted to sell them. $150,000 on this super tiny shitty stick. And I am quite sure we found the correct USB stick, but that crap got corrupted. I am 100% sure. Back then, I even still see myself say it. Put it on this thing because it looks so weird.
And I did.
We're never going to lose it because, you know, it's an airplane. I mean,
yeah, it was like an airplane shaped.
Yeah.
I still have that USB stick, but...
I get riled up whenever I think about that USB stick.
Tifa got so mad she didn't talk to me for like a week. And
no,
I fully understand.
Not a full week. It was like a day.
Close. We had multiple heated arguments where both of us were teary-eyed and stuff.
We had some arguments about it, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I'm the guy that lost 330,000 Dogecoins.
Okay.
So do I know similarly how that feels to have a lottery win and lose it? Yeah, kind of. And occasionally I still wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, that's pretty dumb. Yeah.
Especially that time frame looking for the USB stick, because all in all I think we spent like 2 weeks, a week looking for it. Especially that week was hell. Every day I woke up and like, where's that USB stick?
I've checked every single hard drive because I never threw one away when I like took one out of the computer. I've checked every hard drive,
you did
every
find
USB
2 wallets.
stick. True, one file was corrupted and the other was like 2 Litecoins or something.
Hey, that was still $200.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
true. I made the investment on the energy get back. Can we change the subject? We talk about lottery number makes me sad.
Well, that's why we now changed to lost Bitcoin.
Now you can look at me and go, haha. I'm glad you made it through that, because honestly, I don't think the end would still do it.
It was such a close call, honestly. Well, no, we've had worse arguments. But
yeah, unfortunately, the truth. Yeah, that was
so sad.
Never do lottery, lads. It's a scam. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So is
really
crypto. Learn from me. I could have had it all.
Finally got water and electricity running.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Scheduled a garage door repair guy. What's an HVAC?
Air conditioner.
Inspector and internet install for Monday.
Nice.
Oh, look at you.
Nice.
Oh, shit. Yesterday
Happy
you moved.
moving in day,
Oh, I
Ranger.
forgot the date.
He even posted a picture of Eli like scooting around in his little like running thing.
Yes, and then I was like, oh, I need to respond to this later. Oh.
For the first time in months, I knew something happened in Ranger's life and Tifa didn't yet.
No, I knew
Normally
it happened.
the roles are reversed.
The time
but I saw it on
is
Discord and you didn't.
The time is just all wrong.
Yes. Congratulations. I hope it's gonna be your forever home or until you get bored of a place and when you sell it for like $1 trillion and you find an even better place if you want to. But for now, congrats. Plays with
Super
carpet right now,
happy
giving
for
you
you
a few
guys.
days to prep before we take the kids over. Yeah, fair enough, that makes sense. You
Get everything
would not
ready.
want young children around when doing carpet work. Because they move.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Olivia's old
what
enough
kids
to
do.
do the carpet. Gotta earn that roof above her head. Yeah, I can't.
And this is one of the reasons why we don't have children.
Oh, to change the subject now fully from depressing things. I said I had 2 points at the beginning. The second point, the lottery thing and the USB stick got me a bit riled up. But if I look a bit dead and meh today, it's not because I'm tired. It's not because of me this time. It's because of him.
So here's what happened. Yesterday morning, I wake up. I'm a bit tired in the morning. I'm doing my like epic yawn and I'm like stretching and I'm like stretching and suddenly I hear a pop in my right shoulder. And like I didn't pop my shoulder, but I pulled the muscle, like the important one that goes from your neck to your shoulder. So like just rotating my shoulder, or like when I do this, it hurts in my shoulder blade. Yesterday it was bad. Like I could still work, but like I was like Batman in a rubber suit. Like when something happened behind me, I had to turn my whole body. So yesterday evening, I was slowly getting better. I'm taking a walk with Tifa. And for some reason, I comment on your posture being all bad and all wrong. Because she was like walking like this. Like, you know.
Honestly, that has to do with my bad desk.
It's your posture. So I tell her, you should fix your posture. So I place one hand here and the other on her neck, and then I correct her posture. And she's like, ugh. I'm like, what happened? And then I did the same thing to her I did to myself.
But it feels like worse. Basically, I couldn't feel the left side of my shoulder, it seems like. And last night, while going to bed, it got so bad. Like every hour, I woke up half crying from the pain stings in my shoulder.
I didn't do it on purpose.
You're like, oh.
I did not do it on purpose. I swear, I did not believe this would do anything that would like physically impact her in some way or hurt her. I gently straightened her back like I should. Yes, please laugh at how dumb we are. Tifa, sit like a human.
We?
Yes, you let me. Half of this is on you.
Today was such hell at work. And then sometimes I like moved and it's like, oh, and all day it's like, oh, I'm so old.
If Malix was here, Tifa, he would tell us that this would happen less if we start going to the gym and develop more muscles.
Yeah, this also happens less if you don't touch me.
I apologized, I mean it, I am truly sorry, because having like this muscle pain when you're just doing the most normal movements, it's annoying, it's bad, it shouldn't be like this. I didn't mean to make you hurt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I sure hope you didn't.
Let's break her neck. No, I won't do it.
I took some pills and that seems to work for now. Maybe later.
But still sit like a human.
Look at worse. Yeah,
Stop ignoring the routine.
No, I'm not moving more than this.
Just sit straight like me now. You don't want my assistance, Tifa?
No, I'm sticking to how I'm sitting today.
She'll do what she can.
So yeah, that was fun. That was so much fun.
Did you notice what I just did? Because Tifa has been complaining on camera that I place my hand on her, and apparently my hands are really hot because I'm a hot guy, what can I do? So I just did this to get your attention.
No, you still did the thing. It's not even that you... Yes! I have two... I'm gonna say two pet peeves that
Again,
annoy...
the number 2.
Yeah, at least 2 that annoy the fuck out of me. One is people breathing directly on me. And sometimes Jack does when we're trying to sleep because he lays higher than me.
Because we're cuddling!
I cannot sleep when that happens. I get so
Imagine
annoyed.
blaming your fiance of like over a decade for cuddling with you and being adorable. I'm sorry, Tifa, that I'm this cute. I'm sorry. I'm so adorable.
This is group therapy now.
It's all coming out now. Yes, please do, Ranger. Because maybe you'll appreciate me being the big spoon. Jack, you can cuddle with me. Aww, thank you.
Did you say you're being the big spoon? You've never been the big spoon.
When I'm breathing on you, yeah? Do I turn my nose upside down when I'm the small spoon and when I breathe up at you?
Well, this is probably why. Anyway. That, and Jack, like you already said, has really hot and sometimes clammy hands. And only when we're streaming, he doesn't do it. Any other time does he do the... But not even on my shirt or something, like on my arm, and it's...
However, I can't refute that, and I won't. However, there's a difference.
So if you sometimes see like this movement like this, where I like try to shake him off of me.
I'm hot-handed, what can I say? So, tofu for... What? What's that emote? Oh, it's the handshake. Being ungrateful for Jack's presence, never better do. I know, right? I know. So, 2 things. This is a recurring thread today. 2 things. First of all, when I'm doing this, streaming, my blood pressure is slightly higher than normal. This is one of a few moments in my life where my hands are not ice cold.
Can confirm.
First of all, stop complaining. Appreciate the fact that right now my hands don't feel like those of a corpse.
Why can't you just do like this, like any other normal person? Yeah, that even is fine too.
Normal person stuff. So, I'm doing this because I'm adorable. I think this is really cute. When a cat does this, you're like, oh, look how cute. When a dog comes to her and wants to get her attention, like, it's like, oh, look at how adorable. Fully agreed. It's cute. Why isn't it cute when I do it?
Because you're neither of those things.
What?
Anyway. So now
I'm less cute than a cat or a dog?
Yes.
Hurtful, but I get it. No. What I do on purpose when my hands are like really clammy because like some stuff happened in a video game or something, then I do actually smear my sweat over Tifa. Just because I can. Yeah. I'm disgusting like that.
Woke up and chose violence.
She always does.
So now that our entire relationship is out in the open, what else do we have?
One thing I've got. There's one thing you do that it's kind of like a drug to me. I know it's not good for me, but I need it anyway. And that's your recaps. Tifa, what happened the last time we played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney? I am the king of segues.
That is actually a really good segue. But before you go into that, I still wanted to say if it makes you feel better, after carrying around Eli and I put him down, I immediately lose all sensation in my left arm for 5 minutes.
If I carry around Tifa, it happens to me after 30 seconds. I am not physically capable of carrying another human being. I kind of get that, yeah.
But Eli has also grown so much.
Yes.
Like, I fully get that.
How old is Eli now? 2, I want to say. 1 or 2?
Not 2 yet.
1.5.
Going to 2.
Yeah, I mean, if he's younger than 2, he is going towards being 2 years old.
You know what I'm saying.
I say closer to 2. Time is a made-up construct.
Yes, it is. And so is
just
my
like
recap.
Tifa's recaps.
Beat you to it.
2 geniuses.
Beat you to it.
1 thought. It keeps happening, people. It keeps happening.
And honestly, I don't remember. We have wait. Last time, I think it was in the previous stream, that we... No, we already had that. We proved that the person in the locker room was actually an imposter and not Bruce Goodman who got killed.
Yes. Who was it?
It was Ranger...
Jake Marshall.
Jake Marshall, yeah.
Yeah, he owned up to it.
He owned up to it, but that was in the stream before. Then in the previous stream we got more into it. Mm-hmm. I believe we still... Oh yeah.
Why did he do it?
He did it because he's still trying to figure out who killed his cousin or brother? Brother.
He's still into the, what was it, SL9 case?
Yeah.
Which is where allegedly Joe Dark killed his brother and 5 other people. His brother was the last victim.
Indeed it was, and he believes that the case isn't over yet. He was trying to collect evidence, and seeing how this was his last chance, that's why he decided to go to dress up as Bruce Goodman.
Yep.
Try to get the evidence. And that's the most important thing, I believe. We didn't get much further.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We finished the entire second day of the trial.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. One of us did their homework. Spoilers, it's not Tifa.
I remember talking to Lana.
Psycho is helping you right now.
Gant is still mega sus. Oh yeah, we actually wanted to check the last murder scene, which happens to be Gant's office right now.
Tifa can't say the name.
We came in and it's basically like this in-house church. It has a giant organ.
It looks like the room where you kill the leader of a church in a JRPG.
Yeah, that's where like the final demon boss.
Second to last. First you kill the evil church guy and then you fight God.
The only thing missing is that Gant wasn't playing it when we walked in.
True.
For the ultimate dramatic entrance.
He wasn't like sacrificing somebody to like the devil or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Gant was also there, kicked him out of his room because he doesn't want us to investigate, which was also sus as fuck. And I think that's where we were. Another
really fishy detail was that Lana Skye, prior to being the chief prosecutor, was one of the detectives working on the Joe Dark case.
That we already knew.
And after that, immediately she became not a prosecutor, but chief prosecutor. It kind of seems like everybody got like moved away from their jobs after this happened. With Gant becoming the chief of detectives, chief of police, chief of detectives.
Yeah.
Lana becoming chief prosecutor, Angel Star and Jake Marshall getting demoted / fired. I have no idea what happened to Bruce Goodman, other than being dead now. Also...
And we still don't know how he got killed.
Also, apparently there is something fishy going on with a murder weapon back in the Joe Dark case as well. Because in Gant's office we saw a picture of Marshall's now dead brother holding the King of Prosecutors. Oh yeah, it's the blade that's also on the statuette. On that thing. And that was a broken shield and a broken sword originally. And that broken sword part is missing now. And it kind of looks a little bit like the murder weapon allegedly from the Joe Dark killing.
And Officer Meekins says more sus.
Genocide Jill. If it turns out that there were a pair of scissors being used, then yes. No, load the game first. Now I press the button. Look, video games.
I'm not sure. Oh yeah, and we were lost once again because we had no clue where to go.
True. Breaking news. We've just been informed that Mr. Goodman has been killed once again, now on Wright's firm. More at 5. Hello, bottom tier.
Please
Happy Friday. How are you doing? And God, no, please no. No, Bruce Goodman, I don't know what the guy did, but he doesn't deserve being killed every 5 minutes by somebody.
I think we spend enough time doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, I do remember we got stuck though. So maybe we should just take our time getting through everything again?
How about you find somebody to talk to and you show them the new evidence that we got, instead of running around like a headless chicken.
So back to
Why don't we start
Lana.
at the detention center and you present her with a new face?
What's the new evidence we got?
The
This
Gant
looks like
team
something
picture.
we can present her. Okay, she doesn't like our evidence. It's taboo.
You know what also should be taboo? This.
It's a nice picture.
There, now we can see him holding the thing.
Oh yeah,
also,
and the vase is in the background.
Also, real quick before Tifa presses this away again, look at the knight armor thing on the right side of the screen. The spear it carries, that kind of looks like it would make a wonderful and inconspicuous murder weapon. I'm just saying.
Can also try that.
You know, I don't think chief prosecutors are supposed to have detectives run around get those documents and given to the lawyer in the middle of recess, but details.
Okay, we tried.
Oh, the spear is a Chekhov gun.
Oh.
What was Chekhov's gun again? I forgot about that. It's like a...
I'm not sure.
It's a plot device, right? I've heard the expression before. Hey, back in the police station. Oh look, it's everybody's...
So we did have to go everywhere.
Favorite detective. Hey, Pearl. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. So, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. Falsified evidence 2 years ago. Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Oh yeah, we also learned during the last moments of the trial that it was Lana who falsified evidence to get Joe Dark prosecuted and eventually executed because he took Emma hostage. Yeah. If you mention an item, it has to be relevant later, otherwise why mention it, especially in written novels.
Well, the spear hasn't been mentioned in the game.
No, but it's shown to you, like
that.
kind of in your face.
Sure.
Yeah, now I get it. Thanks for explaining.
Yikes.
Time to talk to him and then show him stuff. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this...
Are there really so many people who hate him?
Can you blame them? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies.
Hey Dick, keep up the good work.
Keep it up, Dick. Their words, not ours. Yes, sir.
Let's go out for lunch again sometimes, my treat.
Yes, sir.
You gotta take me back to that joint sometimes, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. And all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. If you mention the gun in the first act, it has to go forward in Act 3. That's a more accurate quote.
Wow, spoilers.
Wow, now I know about No, it makes sense though. It has to go off in Act 3, okay. But I get it. Like,
you can't really introduce things and then not do anything with it anymore, I guess.
Yes, like if you introduce things that are never mentioned again, it should be like somewhat clear to people that it's like world building or something. Or you leave it in as a sequel hook, but the end. But what about the gun? Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean... when he killed Prosecutor Marshall who was trying to protect some girl. I still can't get over his onion hair. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let me see. I think it had something to do with a murder weapon. No, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
Did he give it to us again?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Hey, this is the first time they actually...
Yes, this is super helpful. Thank you,
told us
Emma.
what to do.
Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take to serial killing?
One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So it was an accident?
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then, when he was burying the bodies, a jogger came up onto the scene and he was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
It seems he was a pretty callous animal.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
How? What? So he turned himself in.
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he flat murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall.
And then all of a sudden...
What? So
Honestly,
allegedly,
though,
this guy went on a killing spree, offing 5 people for seemingly a weird string of coincidences.
I'm gonna believe during the questioning, he was being set up. During the questioning,
Gant
he started
killed these
realizing who it might have been.
Gant.
Started running here, trying to kill Gant, because, you know, his life is fucked anyway.
And
so
this
might
used
as well
to be
take him
Gant's
with him.
office.
Didn't find Gant, instead found the girl, Emma. Tried to use Emma as leverage to get out. In the end, it
He
escalated.
took her hostage. He didn't attack her. He attacked her to take her hostage. But he
didn't try to kill her.
only
from what
took
we
her
realized.
hostage. That's not a good thing, but taking hostage and killing the person, still 2 different things.
Marshall came in between, unfortunately got killed.
Decided he wanted to help Emma, of course.
But it has to be along those lines.
That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness, aka Emma. So I'm guessing... Why did Gant kill all of these people?
What did we say we should present him? The murder weapon.
The murder weapon. What I don't get is, like, I want to pin it on Gant just as much as everybody else, but why?
We're gonna find out at some point.
Do you think it's just
Stop
gonna be
asking why. This game is not about the why.
I guess Jack Marsh interfered with Gant's plan to pin everything on Lana. Yeah, somehow. About
Has to.
this.
Hey, is that...
It has a tag attached to it with a label SL9 incident on it.
Also, you're probably not gonna get the why until the last minute of court.
Post-credits scene after episode 5. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that?
Yeah, what are we doing with them?
That's a good question. Yeah, that should have been asked earlier, actually.
Ever since that case was closed, the knife's been locked away in a locker.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before Ranger spoils it! That's genocide, Jill.
I don't think so.
That's going to be like the thing at the very end of the last game. That all of it was set up by Genocide Joe.
All of the entire Phoenix Wright franchise is a prequel to Danganronpa 1.
Basically,
Yeah. Gumshoe spelled backwards is Genocide Joe. Ranger, I love you.
I see it.
But can you do me a favor? When your kids go to school, don't help them with their English lessons.
It's been right in front of us.
Olivia, read this word. Look, Gumshoe. Genocide Jill.
Michelle will advise with you as a detective.
We've already...
Sheesh!
Yeah, I didn't.
Every time, like, you see me do weird movements with my arms, it's to keep Tifa from just mashing through things.
Yeah, but I'm fine. Like, I didn't skip.
Forget your education when time comes.
I drink to that. I don't drink to that, because it's gonna come out through my nose.
I'm gonna educate them at home.
Bruh.
I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice. I've won and buying it, Pearl.
You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth?
How have we...
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, the serial killer was on the loose.
But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. Do we have new conversation topics with him?
Now we should, yeah. But I thought better to go through the evidence first.
Fair enough. Hey! This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. I traced it back to the store he bought it, plus it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at that knife, you see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
And
even
at my
tender age, I can see that.
Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet, down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Neil's autopsy report: stabbed in the back, died from punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in the wound.
Now that's...
Damn.
Bro.
That's gruesome. Switchblade knife. A broken tip was found in the victim's body, belonged to murderer Joe Dark.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
The chief's out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
It's like contempt of court, but different.
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman.
Shut up, Emma.
That didn't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Do you mean died twice?
Oh, we can't commit fraud.
It just proves that he killed Neil Marshall, not that he was the serial killer.
Yeah.
Not even that, if you ask me. Because you could have just snapped the blade and put one piece of it into the body after he died.
No, there were witnesses to that. I am fully in
Emma
that he
had
killed
blacked
Neil
out.
Marshall in a moment of desperation.
So like Neil Marshall was his only actual victim.
I think so. And the people in the car crash.
You think?
Well, it was probably an accident. Like an actual accident.
But who would gain anything from murdering all of those people?
I'm not saying he did, but it started with an car accident.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'm saying he hit the person with his car and then 4 other people died. I want to say it's Gant, but why would Gant kill those 4 other people?
Well, it depends on who they are, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, maybe there's more to them than we know currently. Or maybe he's just a piece of shit who wanted to kill people.
Or that.
So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office.
I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Show
The
him,
vase.
huh?
Because that's Gant's.
Did I already show them his
Show-
picture? Wait.
I think he did. Gant would want to get rid of all the people involved. Yeah, but why?
About the jaw. I think I've seen it before somewhere.
Somewhere.
Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives.
This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met.
Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me.
Chief Gant.
Where could I have seen that before?
Now show him
Now
the picture.
Oh my god. Maybe not. But it's right there.
Dude, please. Because he is the actual serial killer. Oh, it's Meekins, I don't know.
Evidence locker?
But why would he do that?
No locker can be opened without a fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker.
Hey, wasn't your locker the one with the blood on it, detective?
The handprint of a real murderer's gloved hand. Without any fingerprints.
It could also be that they're just trying to make Gant suspicious. I mean, it's not the first time they're trying to point you to the wrong person.
Oh, one thing we forgot during the recap. Apparently Bruce Goodman got murdered in the evidence room.
Oh yeah, and was then moved.
I also still need to figure that out.
Shh! If you come to arrest me, you'll defend me, won't you?
If that happens, I think you'll do better pleading with Edgework. Can you talk to him again? About the vows?
Nope.
What can we show him?
I'll just go through everything.
Sheesh. Can't believe Officer Marshall would do something like that.
You know Officer Marshall?
Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus.
Really?
It's kind of cute.
He said, Dick, you should listen to all your troubles.
Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus.
Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I mean, you're somebody, aren't you?
We did that one. I'm just gonna go through everything.
Nope.
Sheesh. Sheesh. No, lost item report, huh?
Very impressive, Detective. You knew what it was right off the bat.
It says it on the thing.
Well, I'm a master of misplacement, you know.
Master? It has such a cool ring to it. Master
The way
Gumshoe.
I see it, if things are meant to be lost, then they're meant to be lost. There's a higher power at work here.
Whoa, a higher power.
Maybe I shouldn't let Emma hold any evidence.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't. Screwdriver?
Nope. That's a sheesh moment, Tifa.
Fingerprinting?
Hey, that powder's used for detecting fingerprints.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth gave it to us.
He did what? All I have is some flour.
Are you okay, Detective?
Quick, run! Achoo!
Did he just use the flower?
Apparently. And he sneezed so hard everything whited out. All our Pokemon got knocked out and we got transported back to the last Pokemon Center.
Darn it.
If there's any help, one time I took a nap on a bench with red paint.
Why am I not comforted?
That's our ID card record, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, there's only one number left to investigate. At 4:20 p.m. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive officer number.
777777777.
That's 1-7 to my detective. An executive officer. I just might have a hunch. Yes, it's Gant.
I just bought some of her stuff. I can go around detecting blood traces too.
Wow, is that a new type? I've never seen that bottle before. Add 3 inches to your base height.
Base height. Here, let me see that. Blooming tall. New and improved growth formula.
I can imagine Gumshoe as already being pretty tall, like 190-ish.
He looks like he's like 7 feet.
Is that 190?
And that's like 220. That's like really tall.
Yeah.
That's like NBA and then a little bit, I think.
I would say a bit smaller, but yeah, tall.
This can't detect any blood traces?
Well, it's not quite the same thing as luminol.
So that's why the lady at the counter had that smirk on her face.
Why'd she sell it to?
That. Okay, we're now...
God, there has to be something we can do.
Maybe we're done with
Present again.
I mean...
His ID card belongs to victim detective Bruce Goodman. Can do just about anything these days with calling a secret number. Scary.
It's only scary because you keep dropping your card, Detective Gumshoe.
Forgot my secret number a lot too. Scared of myself. But I'm me after all. What could be wrong with that?
It's a good way of looking at it. I think I'll stay out of this conversation though.
Hey, that's it! That's the King of the Prosecutors award Mr. Edgeworth got the other day.
Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, pal. Got an award for diligence myself.
We've had this conversation before. Congratulations.
I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
No, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later.
Apparently he's forgotten. What could we possibly show him? Yeah, we've definitely done that one before. Okay, so we don't need to do the other knife either, because that's the same conversation.
Yep.
What can we show him that would break my chair and make him reconsider? This guy almost made us lose the case today.
What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstone with evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays.
It would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well.
I have to admit he's right, though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. Possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m.
Okay, seriously though, what can we show him that we're almost through the items? Guess I might as well go through everything now.
Nope. Not this. Nope.
This is... oh no, the shoe I still need to show as well.
Yeah, we've done this part before. This is about Angel Star taking the picture.
This is the last item we can show him.
Something that connects to Gant himself. We've gone through all the new evidence.
And the old stuff.
Wait, show him... Now that we've had this conversation, maybe do the last three again? Maybe this time it's different?
Okay.
Nope.
We now went through everything.
Nope.
Every single piece of evidence, with the exception of... We had this conversation.
Go to Lana.
With the exception of the security video.
Yeah, but... Sheesh. Go to Lana.
But it specifically said, how can we make him...
Yeah, but maybe we need to find something that we can show him to connect it.
Okay.
So maybe now we need the thing to do that.
Then...
Talk? Show her the picture? Oh wait, you've done that, no? Can you show her the... No.
She went like, oh, it's no
taboo.
business. Oh.
Imagine trying to avenge, at very least, the murder of your colleague.
I mean, I can go through everything with her too, but...
Nah, there's no point. The file we've done already. Go to another place. Where else can we go? Go to the parking lot again, maybe Angel Star is back.
Nope.
Alright, give me this.
Wait, officer?
Alright, so this is the moment where I check my handy dandy walkthrough that I've got open. Blah 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 blah. Where are we? We are day 3 investigation. Wright co-law officers talk to Emma about the 4 things. We've done that.
Yeah, look for a gumshoe.
Detention center. Done this part. Go to the police department entrance. You'll find Marshall. Talk to him about 4 things. Then he leaves.
We
done
did that.
Go to Gant's office. Get kicked out. Done
we did that.
Police department's chief office.
Here, gumshoe.
Did this part. Now, show him the switchblade knife. We've done that. You receive the autopsy report and the switchblade knife gets updated. He admits to this being all conjecture.
Wait, could you skip here?
You ask him to get in there, blah blah blah. You need to find something to get Gumshoe, blah blah blah. Go to the underground parking lot. So, there is something here.
Imagine just going to exactly where I told you.
And now?
Now we go to the High Prosecutor's office and go to
Here we
speak
go.
to Edgeworth, who is now here.
So once again, the idea was to just run around like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here?
He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor.
Oh, it's all crumbled
Not
up.
even in the trash can. Tough day in court, huh?
I've had to live the past 2 years with the rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
It's not an allegation, it's somebody confirming it. It's a bit different, I would argue, but who am I?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day.
I want to talk to you, actually.
There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do to erase that fact.
But you didn't know, did you?
I mean that the evidence
that the evidence was falsified. How did you read my mind, Edgeworth?
The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuse I might have.
He has a point, it's his responsibility.
Mr. Edgeworth? I take pride in my work, so tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up.
Tell me why did you falsify evidence?
That's a question for Lana, though. Are you up for a trial tomorrow?
As if we're going to ask that. First last year's trial, now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
Sorry, bye.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors.
How is it too late to change prosecutors if we just learned that he was attached to this previous case where false evidence was used? This is a perfect reason to change prosecutors, if you ask me.
Too little time for a new prosecutor to read into the case.
So instead of doing the right thing, we just do the convenient thing. Okay.
Yep. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this.
Maybe we can postpone the trial. No, we can't, unfortunately, because in Japan, every trial can only take 3 days.
Yeah, you're not allowed to go like, okay, we're taking a week break. There's a law that it has to be the day after the deed was done and the suspect has been taken into custody, and then there's 3 days to solve it.
Yeah,
this is all set in stone. Skinner, congrats on being second. How are you feeling today?
Why the fuck do you even ask?
Hey, in Japan, everything makes sense. There's an explanation for everything.
Just accept. What do you mean?
The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's because we are holding all the evidence and we didn't hand it in because we thought that would be pretty inconvenient, so we're just,
Miles, both Emma and I have this ability, if you will. It's called video game inventory. You can't exactly see it, but somehow in our possession is a multitude of items that we can just invoke out of thin air. And then you will be able to see them or understand what we're talking about exactly without even being able to see it yourself. It's quite amazing. Maybe we should tell you about it so that you can add them to the list. I'm less dead than I was on Tuesday.
Well, at least that's something.
I'm happy to hear that.
With some luck, you'll be all good by tomorrow.
Hopefully. The sooner you feel better, the better for everybody. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture. Something seems strange about it.
Can show him after.
Yeah, I think we should. Could you tell us again about what happened that day?
Oh, I hiccuped and it went straight into my shoulder.
You hiccuped into your back?
Oh, I felt that one.
How are you bad at hiccups?
Oh.
I plan on streaming tomorrow anyway. Well, if you feel good enough, why not? I'm also contemplating going to the cinema tomorrow, maybe Sunday.
Oh, what do you plan on watching? Gonna infect the entire cinema.
First of all, please don't do that. Second of all, I mean, if you're feeling good enough and you're not infectious, fair enough. I don't think I would until I feel like 100% again. But again, I'm also not a huge cinema fan.
Oh, if you feel good tomorrow, you feel good.
Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony of attestation, right?
Is Barbie already out? Or next week?
I don't know.
Next week, right? Together with, what's it called?
Oppenheimer.
That. I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony.
Yes, they can. Have you not seen the Oscars and stuff? People send in videos to thank them for the award all the damn time.
I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I don't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. By
Why
Gant.
does he look so smug when he looks over to his side? It's like,
By Gant.
You know that face a dog makes when they're like pooped in the living room? It's the... like they're trying to keep a poker face, but they know they did something wrong. It's like...
Yeah, a tiny bit. Also not contagious. Very good.
Fair enough.
Hey, if you feel good enough, then you feel good enough. You need to watch Mission Impossible.
Far away from people in the front of a wall. Yeah, I still don't know how you do it, because I've sat in the front line in a cinema once, and it's like... It's not for me.
No, in front of a wall. You know, on the sides, you usually... You know, at the entrance, if you then go... You come into the room.
No, I don't.
You come into the room, then usually you like turn around, can walk up the stairs, and then on top, in the back, there's a wall above the entrance thing you come in.
Tifa, I really don't care for cinemas. I don't recall.
Anyway, it's in the back.
Is it?
On the side. Yes.
As long as you enjoy yourself. Need to watch Mission Impossible before Barbenheimer drops next week. Watch both movies at once in like this 3D thing where like one eye is Barbie and the other is Oppenheimer.
A lot of cinemas are offering combi tickets to watch.
Yeah, double features. I've seen that. Yeah. I have to say this. I feel really bad for Margot Robbie and Cillian Murphy.
Margot Robbie?
Yeah, the actress who plays Barbie. The amount of press work they're doing currently to not just promote their own movie, but for some reason the other. These people need a break, and I hope they're getting enough rest, and I hope they're getting paid extra for the amount of like PR and like press that they're doing to promote both movies. I'm quite sure
they have quite a nice paycheck for
I hope so. This. I hope so, because I've never seen this much talk about their own movie and the other one that comes out that day. It's crazy.
Well, I haven't seen any of them promote the other movie. I've just seen a lot about their own movies, which is fair. But still, none of them are as good as Jack Black promoting the Mario movie. Like, that was pure gold.
Cross-marketing is a meme goldmine. Same thing happened with Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal.
I did not see any of that. I've seen so much advertisement for both movies.
I think you have, though, because I'm pretty sure I showed you that, I think it was like a mashup video with the music from Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal.
I don't mean this one, but I mean for Barbie and...
Barbenheimer.
Yeah. I haven't seen any cross-promotion for those.
Have you been on the internet for the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, and I get mainly bombarded with Barbie stuff and which outfit the actress is wearing for whatever reason. But nothing about...
Tifa is on some weird parts of the internet that she doesn't see the mainstream stuff like we do.
Apparently. This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
She said the name right.
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So, you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to?
That's right.
Weird.
Okay, before we present the stuff, I say we take a short break.
I would like that. I'm also out of water.
I got emergency water. If you can reach it. Emergency water.
Then while you fill me up, I don't sit in the 4 rows right in front of the screen. At the bottom of the main seat there's a wall, and then there's going to be seats right in front where we're spaced out, because it's also where the wheelchair accessible seats are located, but it's always empty because there's usually like 1 and 3 or 2 and 2. The wall helps blocking out annoying people behind. I get so triggered by people around me, like eating popcorn loudly or talking or playing with their phones, that it ruins the whole ambience for me. I'm a watching movies at home kind of guy.
Let me put this here.
Thank you. Now we need to refill your bottle though, so
yeah.
BRB.
BRB. We're back.
We are.
Show the team picture. I'll just say Gant team picture, but
This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. I think this is the right conversation. So, trying to be in frame.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now.
Remember what?
That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. A story?
because the law is both the sword and the shield to those that it's designed to protect.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
It's simple, really. Contradiction. Oh, I didn't see that coming.
I liked mine way better.
That's what the award's based on.
Cool. Objection to it.
What else would he want? The knife?
I think we unlocked something we need to talk about. The contradiction part. See?
I mean... This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard the story?
Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it though, for Emma's sake?
You're the much better storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Ooh, that's a cool shield, by the way. Settling a little monkey on the gate. Right next to the shield.
Once again, our lights are dying for reasons that elude me.
Click. Is that gonna be a heating? Because every time I feel like it's getting really warm in here, the light starts flickering.
I don't know, but I don't like it. I'm gonna see if I can get a refund on those and get new ones. Annoying.
Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
I wouldn't bother attacking with that shield because...
The game's going by itself.
Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other.
Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard the story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. He should have sold one first and then the other.
Mm-hmm.
I see! So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
So, wait a second. The Japanophonian Prosecutor's Excellence Award is designed based around a Chinese story, legend.
Apparently so.
You would think that they have their own legends based around the law that they could use, but...
I kinda prefer the "we are the shields that guard the realm of men."
It's too deep and it has any right to be. Yeah, I have a hard time disagreeing with you there, Honest Psycho. Yeah,
At least it's surprising. Like, none of us saw this one coming.
True, our expectations have been subverted.
That's
Last time that has happened to me was when I lost all faith in the Star Wars franchise.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief Gant.
Because he used that as a murder weapon or gave it to someone. So,
yes, he did.
You think we're done?
I think so.
Or you still want to go through some of the items? You can also try to find Chief Gant again.
Wait, one of our evidence thingies got updated. Let's run back to Gumshoe to see if that is what triggers him to make us able to go after Gumshoe. Underground parking lot. That's Angel Star.
Excuse me.
Why am I so good at this?
Would either of you care for a 1/4 pound of roast beef?
Miss Star. I guess she's out of her lunches.
Why is that not a lunch?
I don't know. Maybe Phoenix is one of those people that believes you can only eat certain things at a certain time of the day.
I wonder who else believes that.
I know you're somewhere, Andric. I can feel you.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk.
We need to talk about this question way more often in society. Who was the first person to figure out certain things were edible or drinkable?
Honestly though, this is one of the few things where I would think it makes sense. Especially with human babies doing the exact same thing, animals doing the exact same thing. This is something where I can go like, okay, some human thought of trying out the stuff from other animals to see what it tastes. It makes sense. Like, with other things though, like if you see someone eat a mussel.
An oyster.
Or an oyster. Like, who dug that up, looked at it and was like, I'm not gonna eat that. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Who was the first person that chucked open an oyster, saw this like slightly pulsating weird mess and then went like, I'm not just gonna slurp that out of there in a very disgusting sound. I'm also gonna make people believe that it makes their penises harder, and I'm gonna charge them through the nose for that.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't make sense. Compared to this, it makes absolute sense.
I guess, yeah. Someone obviously saw 4 dicks and was like, what's up? Got a pleasant surprise. Did you know, Skinner, that if you get milk from a cow, that's just regular milk. If you get milk from a bull, it's way higher in protein and it has less fat. Most people not too fond of the taste though.
I saw it being processed in a drink somewhere not too long ago.
Oh, what movie was that?
It was this Russian...
We watched Fubar.
No,
and
was that in Fubar?
It was Fubar. And there is, spoilers, you should watch it yourself, it's not bad. There's a scene in Fubar where a group of characters is in Russia to join a poker tournament or something like this. And
too much spoilers, just get to the drink.
And they get served the local delicacy drink, and it is a tall shot glass, 50% vodka and 50% warm, fresh yak semen. I didn't bother googling whether that's an actual thing. If it is,
I'm quite sure there's something like that.
More power to you. If you want to drink that,
pretty sure.
I wouldn't. I would not recommend anybody does it, but you do you.
humans lacked it, and someone decided, man, wish I could drink titty milk without being called a creep.
And that's how cow milk was used. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Can we burn everything down, please? And miss out on all of this? Of course not.
Welcome to My Favorite Letters X, where you think you're gonna see people play a video game and try to be funny, but we impart information inside of your brain that you wish you never had.
Red Bull also used to put semen into their drink,
What?
no?
No, that's an urban legend.
I'm quite
That's not
sure
true.
that
No.
was not. Wait, let me very
Tifa,
quickly.
Red Bull
Oh,
is
my
like
shoulder.
super
Red
rich and I
Bull.
don't need them to come through the window to like sue you into oblivion. No, Tifa, that was a playground myth.
Oh, was it really?
Yes.
I mean, I never drank it regardless, but... oh, how do I get out of
I
the...
only... Tifa! Because there's an ingredient called taurine. Yeah, it's like it makes you awake and stuff, no? Instead we're talking about gurgling.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Not gurgling, drinking.
Oh, okay, it does not contain bull sperm. What
It's
a
an
shame.
amino acid. I didn't know that. Didn't know it was a protein.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Do you honestly think that would get past the...
Yes.
Okay, true. The FCA is
Yes.
really weird and companies have way too much influence with these things. And they could probably get that past certain institutions. Yeah, true. Anyway, let's ask ourselves, who was the first person to drink milk? Financial Conduct Authority. FSA? Oh, FSA, yeah, food stamp, yeah, true. FSA.
Close.
Thank you.
Close. It's okay.
No, wait. Mortonards got it right. Mortonards got it right. Thank you, Mortonard. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you.
I
The
mean,
two
can't-
things you should always
Don't let it
mix.
go to waste. No?
Okay, look, Angel has new lines.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
She said dig. I'm sorry. I mean, I said a lot of dumb shit in Twitch chat, but fuck my life. I take that as an absolute compliment.
I see only truth.
Yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness. I almost forgot about that.
The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten.
I've never seen a roast beef be packaged in like paper like that.
I think that's like banana leaf,
And I think that's
along that line.
raw roast beef.
I mean,
Is that-
you can eat that raw.
Yes,
If it's sliced.
but when I was
Stop
eating
wondering
meat,
about
I
the
like
roast
my meat to be done enough so that it doesn't walk away when I bite into it. But Miss Star's hatred toward Lana? It all dates back to 2 years ago. It's ever
Hey.
hard to hard with her.
Let's talk to you. Joe Dark. It's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Ah, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her.
Lana Skye. My sister?
No, the other Lana's guy.
The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant.
His physique though, like he is swole. I see why people would just trust him.
No. That legendary pair.
Attractive.
He's
classically handsome.
He has the eyes of a lunatic.
Yeah, but I think he is hitting the right spots on the crazy to hotness scale for a lot of people.
I mean that.
What I'm trying to say is, if I could look like Damon Gant, I would.
That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with a forging of the evidence?
Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret.
Could it just be, honestly, that Lana made use of this weird ancient art called inventory?
It's because of Emma.
We do the same thing. We pull out stuff out of thin air all the time. Go like, actually, no, I've got this thing. Why wasn't this submitted before? Why?
Yeah, but they worked as one team. It's different.
I guess.
And in the end, it's still all because Emma didn't step up. But you don't have any proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor.
Chief prosciutto. Here we go again with the food.
Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Oh, she missed a food joke. She could have gone with asparagus or something.
As it appears?
Yeah.
As it appears.
Asparagus.
She doesn't do food puns.
Yeah, but it would have worked.
You do food puns.
It would have worked.
And that one you failed. That was really weak.
It would have absolutely worked out.
No.
Huh?
You know what you're inducing in me with your attempt at a food pun?
What?
Despair. See, now that's how you do it, people.
Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter.
She was being used. Yes, by Gant.
Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
Thank you, Honest Psycho.
Gant led the investigation, with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
His magnetism?
By that I mean his ability to attract evidence.
Uh-huh.
Murder weapon.
He's gonna attract my hands in his face if he keeps pulling up his bullshit. Mm-hmm.
Skull from someone who died 20 years ago under weird circumstances that was never found.
Mm-hmm.
He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled.
Incredible evidence? You mean...
Oh yes. There were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though.
All I'm saying is Damon and Demon are one letter away from each other.
Well...
Am I implying anything? I'm just asking questions.
Coincidence?
Is Damon Gant a
not.
demon? Is there a connection to him having like a church organ in his room? I don't know, I'm just asking questions. I take it she's talking about forged evidence.
Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake.
Maybe they didn't take you as seriously because you have onigiri on your head.
That only came later. Mr. Marshall? When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from the shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why. I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that?
I have a feeling she learned about what Gant was doing.
That could be.
And started regretting it.
Got too much pulled into it and now she's saying she did it to make amends for all of the crimes she committed?
Yeah!
That's...
Yeah, Damon Gant pulled all of his stuff, she learned about it, and now as a way to atone for enabling all of this, she wants to be put into jail or executed or whatever is her ultimate goal in saying that she did kill Bruce Goodman.
So far, the only reason why I can imagine she goes, oh, I did it.
I guess. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way.
Do you just become chief? What happens to the current person?
The prosecutor's office? No clue.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along.
I am justice.
But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change.
Because she's got the job because of him. And then he controls her. Because when he like blackmails her with what they've done together.
Yeah, I would think it's a matter of blackmail, yeah.
At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr.
You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. I don't think she needs evidence.
No. I mean, you could show the picture. Nope. I don't have anything else to tell you. Okay. Okay. I don't think we'll get anything out of her.
No, I don't think so either.
Can we now talk to Gumshoe about this?
Let's have
Do you think? Hopefully he's still there. Oh,
well,
this seems to be correct.
We're going to the right place.
Oh, you're back.
You're still here.
Gonna make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ.
You're a DJ as well?
Winky winky. If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey.
Oh, that DJ. What other DJ?
Disc jockey.
Yeah, but what other?
Desk jockey.
Oh.
The thing I just said that was on the screen. Somebody who runs around and does like errands.
Yeah. We call them lackeys.
Goons.
Or goons. Goons.
Auszubildende in German.
No.
No, that's new. That's people who are being trained for a certain job.
Gums.
Gums?
Gumshoe. Not gooms. Gums.
Gooms. What? Goons with an N.
And now it's a gooms. Anyway.
No. No.
Gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in on the chief's I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line.
That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. Are you doing the neck on the line thing on yourself, or? Because you're slowly leaving the camera frame.
Yeah, my shoulder is hurting.
Want a massage?
No. Do not touchy anything near my shoulder.
I have to take a look in there.
There's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind.
Is there new talking?
We got new... something got updated, right? We still not have anything.
It was the statue, wasn't it?
Statue?
Yeah.
You mean this thing?
That thing.
Hey, that's it! That's the king of prosecutors of what I missed.
Oh,
there we go. This is new.
See? Aren't you proud of me?
Not really.
I stopped in the middle. Say, this design's based on an old Chinese parable, right?
Yeah, everyone knows that. There was this dragon. Yeah, that's it, a dragon. He had a thing for shields, see?
That's not exactly the version we heard, but his sounds way cooler, honestly.
No, but this one sounds more exciting.
Anyway, he'll get kinds of gory after that. I'll spare you the details.
Now we can...
Was that it? No.
That was
Maybe we need
pointless.
to...
No, that's the sheesh moment.
Okay, if it's not that, then what is it?
Is it the autopsy report? Nope. What?
Look at the walkthrough while I click through this.
You can't click through this if I do that, Tifa. When do you learn?
I am not in the mood to be stuck here. Okay, we spoke to Angel. We go back to Gumshoe. Oh, letter of resignation. We have a letter of resignation? Go back into the game.
Wait,
Back in the game.
when did we get a letter of resignation? What?
Autopsy report. Either we skipped something or we've been holding on to it for a long time.
Okay,
We
according to the
skipped
walkthrough,
something.
we're supposed to examine the paper under Edgeworth's desk.
We skipped
That's on
something.
us. They specifically pointed out that he quickly
something.
dropped something, and we never looked at that. We forgot to examine that thing.
Yeah, but it felt like we were making progress.
Yeah,
It also feels a bit weird to look at that.
while he's in the room, yeah,
Basically.
I agree. I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Just bend over and... hey, Edgeworth!
Just correct his posture.
I'll help you. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground.
Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet.
He didn't even look.
What? Letter of...
Uh-huh. What she said.
If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation.
Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean...
I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside of me has died.
Why is he smiling?
It's the sad smile, thinking back of all the memories, but like it, you can imagine the one tear.
It's the
falling down.
melancholic, like... I need to break up with you. It's been wonderful, but I'm not good for you. You know, it's...
But he has that smile in a lot of the scenes, so they're just reusing.
Production-wise, this was a Game Boy Advance game originally. This was on the 3DS, I believe, back, or no, the Nintendo DS already. They didn't have all the budget to give them like 60 different versions of like... Yeah.
Like we're justifying it, but that moment he has several times.
Yeah, they cut corners.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. We know. Can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either.
Oh, I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything. Letter of resignation. Edgeworth's discarded letter. Serious. So,
And now, can we talk about this? No.
So we crawl under his desk, grab the letter. He is having like a life crisis. He's a friend of ours, and now we just go, bye.
I'm taking this letter. Bye. There we go.
What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Ashworth can't be serious!
Is he ever not serious?
I can't believe I've pushed him this far!
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective?
That's it. I've made up my mind.
But
Here, take my ID card.
We can't do that if someone found out.
They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. I am the captain. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of a loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
What? Are you reaching for a letter of resignation as well?
Scratching my leg.
So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
Alright, detective. Thank you. Gumshoe's ID tucked swiftly into pocket.
Handy.
Now we can go to Gant's office. Yeah. Swipe.
Here goes, Mr. Wright. Click. Beep.
The most serious clicks and beeps I've ever heard.
There
Now
we
I know
go.
what this music makes me think of, Tifa. Baseball games.
Baseball games. Oh, when you...
In American baseball, don't you also have like this... Like, there's like this jingle being played sometimes, no?
I'm not sure. Isn't in every game some jingle being played at some point?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen a baseball match. I've played baseball before, but I've never
I've
seen an
tried to
actual
watch it
match.
once I fell asleep. I'm not saying it's not a sport, I'm just saying it's not necessarily entertaining for me to watch. Take Me Out to a Ball Game, that's the name of a song, right? That's the...
That's an actual thing?
Yeah.
There's an anime based on baseball that I do want to see though.
What
I'm not
was
a
it?
big
Ace
fan.
of Diamonds?
I think it is. I'm not a big fan of watching sports at all, but usually sports anime are
It's way better.
too good.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. Like Ice Shield 21 is one of my favorites of all time.
I think it's the fact that they can make things super hype.
Yeah. Kurake no Basuke, also really good.
Yuri on Ice.
Yuri on Ice, also really good.
I think you could get similar
Prince of
effects with like real life.
Oh,
Why do you break your finger? Tifa just did this. Knack.
That
did
felt
you hear
nice.
that? Why would you do that? Stop that! She
That-
keeps
that-
doing it to the other fingers.
That felt really good. Let me.
How does this feel good?
Oh.
You basically
Sometimes-
removed a finger from your own hand.
Sometimes you just need a crack.
Yeah, let me do your back then.
Besides your type of cracking. Let's quickly move on before you do something weird. We're in! If anyone finds us now...
Detective Gumshoe's a goner.
If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out.
Did he just follow us?
Yeah!
He just came along.
I mean, might as well. He's risking his job for us.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
Didn't even know you could slap a ghost.
Ah, Detective Gumshoe!
I like how we have the whole screaming bit at each other and then all of a sudden Phoenix is like 10 seconds later.
Nah! 2 minutes later. Nah! At the end of the stream, I will just look over to Tifa and have a jump scare with her. Oh my god, why did you get in here? What are you doing sneaking up on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong.
You stand outside and be the watch guy.
So I came too.
If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID card crushed and rendered unusable in pocket.
Wow.
Hey, don't do that to my card.
Too late. Now we're
Gotta
stuck
get a
with
new
you.
card.
Hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
We're all in this together. I would lift
I
my
forgot
arms,
the
but-
rest of the lyrics, but I think it's from High School Musical.
Yes, it is.
I guess it's time to get my head in the game. Head in the game. Get my head in the game.
You really do want to get fired, don't you?
Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Can we talk first? Let's talk first and then... Actually, what should we do first?
I say examine first.
Okay.
Examine.
You think? How do you not know? I know, right? After all of that, he still doesn't realize.
I was too busy looking at... What's the guy's name? The actor who plays the main character? That guy.
Troy. No.
That's the character. I'm talking about the actor.
Jack
Black.
Efron? Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Thank you.
That's it. You can see pretty far from 50 stories up. If you were to drop that suit of armor from here...
At first, the chief wanted to use stained glass for his window.
Really? Why didn't he? Isn't that stained glass?
No, only the top.
They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view.
Oh.
Fair. Stained glass or not, that's a huge window. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons?
Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for mutations.
First the pipe organ, now this armor? Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room?
What? You mean we're paying for this?
You're not paying. You're 16, you still go to school.
That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes.
True Jeff Bezos energy. You don't have any taxes to pay.
Shh! Be careful what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in his armor as we speak.
I don't think he'd fit in there.
Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out, you guys don't know how scary that guy can be.
We've learned. Yes, you go, girl. Commit tax fraud.
All the big guys do it.
I have a much easier time respecting people that just earnestly and honestly pay their taxes, but that's just me. This is a safe, isn't it?
Safe? And the world is ripe with intrigue.
Okay, if you say so.
It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it.
A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Input number.
Do you know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. You want to try my birthday? It's...
No.
I would have liked to know.
I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Oh my god, you can't click on it either. Code confirmed. Access grant.
Oh my god. Like, how? How was... No, you know what, never mind. Are you shitting me? The moment he said I have an idea, there was no other choice.
Tifa? Well done. This was painful.
Slightly.
Bingo. What number did... No, I'm not gonna do your lines.
What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was it, Pearl?
It was my birthday.
77777777. The final ID card number on that record.
Even if you were planning on using this, wouldn't you at least change 1 digit?
Yeah.
Just to, you know, fuck them up?
Yeah, or make it a number that other people don't get confronted with regularly.
Well, your number is a secret.
Yes, but the secret number gets shown as 7 times 7 to everybody else. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you don't know who it belongs to, you would technically...
Everybody knows it's like executive numbers. Where are we now? An executive room.
Well, I'm not defending this choice, I mean... What?
The number of a mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day.
You mean 7777777? That ID number?
I think you're 1 7 shy this time. That didn't look like 6.
This can only...
This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number.
Say, anyone care to look inside?
Yeah, where else would we open it? Move inside the thing. I thought at least Gant was not an idiot, but alas. There has to be something that we can nail him on.
He underestimated us.
Yeah, my ability to press the same button over and over again.
Or I would put the code inside the organ, you know, in the pipes, in some weird order.
Yeah, like the notes on the organ, some of them are just off ever so slightly, like they're minimally out of tune.
Yeah, or like the order of your favorite song and how to play it. And then the first 7 notes inside the pipe, there's a digit. And then...
Or a name where you move every character in multiple ways. This could have been more secure.
I say that, but I don't. I'm too lazy on security.
Why do you say that? Why make yourself a target?
Is there any money in there? How much money does he have stashed away?
Look, it's a
knife. Oh, it's a piece of a vase.
A shot from a broken cup.
So that's where the missing piece
This
is.
somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
There's something else in here too.
What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth.
A handprint to fake evidence? This
Yeah.
is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design?
How can you look at that piece of cloth and think I've seen a shirt that looks like that before?
This guy is just...
It's basically the size of a napkin from the looks of it.
It's handprint size.
I don't think so.
No, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? This is all that was in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now.
A piece of cloth with a handprint on it and a broken shot from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
That is fair.
Great, now I have to prove their relevancy to get them.
That is very fair.
How are these two items related to the SL9 incident?
Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective.
Easy.
We can do that after.
Easy.
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk.
Speaking of that, when we were here earlier,
How is you two?
We
he
put
put
the
that
paper in the desk.
inside the desk. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence.
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this will.
Hey, look at that case name.
Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No, about the evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long.
That's right, I guess there was a lot of evidence.
A half-sized list of evidence. Just like Edgeworth was saying.
Too short.
What would the other half of the list be doing here?
Oh, this is what's missing. I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so. Evidence list. List of evidence. The SL9 incident was ripped in half.
Oh, you wanted to read that bit?
Yes, as always.
Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of that list.
What was this? What would this list be doing here? Better look a little more into this list. Say list one more time.
Okay, the desk is
Don't forget
done.
to slide.
Slide? Oh yeah.
The chief's organ sure is a sight to behold.
Wait! This has to be a meme, right? This one frame. This. They knew what they were doing in the English translation, right? Even when the game came out, they knew.
Before there wasn't an organ there, but someone really wanted to make this joke. So then they decided to design the organ after.
The chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally we are playing it from the...
So he does actually play it, at least.
And he plays with it so loudly, other people can hear it in the same office.
Occasionally we can hear him playing it from the criminal attorney's office.
It's on the 2nd floor and this is the 15th floor of an entirely different building.
I mean, those things are loud.
When the detective screws up, the chief calls him to his office and makes him listen to the organ for hours.
I can't.
What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul.
Yeah, it does. He was playing his organ, yeah, and apparently it's multiplayer. Other people get to join.
I'm sure he's pretty good at it.
He probably needs both hands. You sure it's your neck hurting, Tifa?
After that, The detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears.
I can't say these lines with a straight face. Oh my god.
There are no residential areas around where normal people live, but it's not a crime if you do it during the day.
Wait, listen to this and just let it sink in. So it's an instrument of punishment. Literally.
But aren't the chief's ears affected? That one wasn't as funny.
I'm imagining like all of this in pictures, and I can't describe what I'm imagining to you because that would get me banned on Twitch.
I also don't think we want to hear it.
He never listens to anyone anyway.
That's besides the point.
This mark looks like some kind of flower. It's giving me Dark Souls vibes.
It's giving me Undertale vibes.
One ear?
No.
You don't.
No.
You will probably lose your own ears if he says what I think he's going to say.
Some words are better unsaid. This is a collection of them.
Even I, for once, agree to that.
Yeah.
Word is, it's designed after the insignia on the prosecutor's badge.
Prosecutor's badge.
Yeah, like the one hanging from your collar.
What? They have badges too?
Design's supposed to portray the severity of a punishment system.
Now that you mention it, it does look all pointy and kind of painful.
But Mr. Edgeworth never wears a badge.
That's because he's a sharp dresser. A badge like that wouldn't go too well with his outfit.
So sharp dressers don't need to wear badges?
I guess everyone just kind of let it slide.
I don't see how that's supposed to signify severe punishment. I feel like this conversation is a punishment.
I like the modern versus more old-fashioned look.
Yeah, and I love like black metal and glass kind of minimalism.
This was taken on that day 2 years ago.
The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma.
After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then he went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. But he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later.
Gee, you think? Let's hack the computer. I bet his password. It's gonna be 7777777. This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy.
Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner.
There's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here?
No. Chief Gant must still keep a clean memory of her partnership. Whatever stuff of legends are made of.
Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of her crime?
Also, I would think they have a cleaner.
Yeah, I would be shocked if I don't. These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. There's a small picture frame on the left shelf.
Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park.
Okay.
Oh, that was random.
How about we check the picture?
You can't.
Why can't we check the picture? I feel like lore is being missed here.
It's not important.
Look at the giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside.
This is the 15th floor.
I know, I was just saying.
Intrusive thoughts.
Saying what?
Ever since making detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that.
Or the dramatic jump through the window, follow a crime.
Why does Gant have family pictures of Lana and her sister?
I guess Lana just left it and he never... No, Skinner.
No, Skinner. No. Nah.
No.
No.
Note to self, Detective Kaiju has a lot of dreams.
Yeah. So long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired.
Don't say that. We are...
Let's have a conversation with Gumshoe, why don't we? Please.
done. Okay.
I was looking for evidence on you.
I am the evidence
Of what?
of everything.
That's deep. So you like a cheat code in the judicial system. Nice, good to know. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Why did we ask that to Gumshoe?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana on that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
That's a strange reason to leave it there.
He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
I see.
So, ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant. And his cleaning... and the cleaning lady who's in here this morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Sure about that?
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes? I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think? Nah. You wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
He's trying to put the are you suspicious of Gant into our minds.
Have you looked in the organ's pipe? That would be a good place to hide evidence.
The hole is big enough to look through.
Please don't. Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on, that's a first, buddy.
We just
Huh?
did.
What is it?
When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that.
Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you?
You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him?
Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet.
There you go, ignoring me again.
Present. Show him the vase. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember when the three of us put it back together. Those were the days.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic.
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case?
That's right, one of his shots had an SL9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You know that fragment we just found?
You mean this one? It was in the safe?
So this one actually has a writing on it. Yes, that one! That was in the safe.
Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits.
Assemble them, please, Tifa. Here, let me see that shot. I'll take a crack at this.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue.
If I can piece this together again,
Oh, it is carry around
it
glue.
will prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Excuse me, it's a single piece.
Ah,
Tifa, please drink something. You must have gotten so hot from all of
Thank you.
all of the thinking going into this. Do you feel okay now? Do you need a moment? Are you all warm?
I feel like I haven't done this much thinking in a long time.
Burned 2,000 calories just from solving that puzzle in my brain. There! It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of his jar in his safe.
Harder than that puzzle in Lufa 2. Lufa 2.
Lufia, too.
Oh, Lufia.
If you know, you know. I only know the story of Lufia, too. I don't remember the puzzles.
Well, I don't know either.
We should play Lufia, too, at some point. It's
Also,
a super old JRPG.
We have really missed our calling, by the way.
Which
Look
was?
at how perfectly put back together this vase is. There's not a seam to be seen.
Isn't it in Japan where there is a tradition that if like a vase or something breaks, you put it back together with gold
Yeah.
so that no matter how perfectly you would be able to preserve it, you can still always see the cracks to remind you that this is like all a part of what it is? I think that's really kind of
There's
sweet.
a name of that,
Yeah.
but I don't know what it is anymore.
Same. But I really like the idea. Yeah. Apparently the chemicals used in that are highly toxic.
Well, just don't eat from that anymore.
Yeah, just don't breathe it in. Yeah, maybe wear protective gear for that. Does it keep being toxic? I hope not. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
But...
Hey guys, get a load of this!
What is it? The truth will out. I'm getting hiccups from doing Gumshoe's voice. I don't know how.
It's getting too much.
This piece you just attached. It's different from the others.
How? How is it?
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line?
I thought it was letters.
That's blood.
I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe?
Unstable jar. Evidence from SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Blood traces. Yeah, I mean... what else did we find?
I feel like button now that the jar is complete.
But it only raises another question. What was a piece of it doing in the chief's safe?
More importantly, why wasn't there any money in there? Isn't that what safes are meant for anyway?
I have a feeling the outcome of tomorrow's trial just might hinge on this.
But we didn't find anything else.
Present him with a list of evidence. Maybe we can talk about the fact that Edgeworth has another list.
That's what the chief was reading before, isn't it? You know, when we first came in there?
Yeah, it looks like the right side of the form's been torn off.
So Mr. Edgeworth's list really was only half of the whole thing.
Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at the back of that form, Per.
The back? Oh, check it. And tell. I'm gonna help you. That's the picture that Emma drew.
How do we... Oh, there.
Like that. I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here.
Honestly, not too bad.
That's actually done really well.
I wouldn't even get to be able to get a human shape.
Yeah.
What is it? Did you find something?
I can't make it out. Better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing.
Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright?
Better not forget about this picture.
Why would... you know what, never mind.
Why wouldn't you just show her? Alright. That's the same conversation.
I was hoping something else would trigger now.
Yeah, me. I'm being triggered right now.
Do
you think that's it?
We didn't get anything new.
Yes, we did. We finished... Oh, wait, the leather thingy. Where'd that go?
That's not evidence.
Wait, present the handprint. Yeah, that.
I can't believe Officer Marshall would do something like that.
You know Officer Marshall?
We've been here.
That's the small cactus thing.
But where did the leather cloth with the handprint go?
It's not considered evidence. Different case, probably. I guess. I think we're done here now.
Let's go to Edgeworth. Show him the other part of the list. Nothing else makes sense.
Wait, before that, let's also check Lana. See if something gets triggered.
Detention
there.
center. You keep going past it.
Okay, no trigger message.
No.
Okay, no one gets a trigger message. Let's present that list to him. No. Well, that wasn't it.
How? Show him the vase.
Don't think he knows anything about the vase.
Okay. Show it to Angel.
Maybe we should go to Lana and show her all of this stuff.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go there first. My money is on her going, oh, it's a taboo to talk about these things.
Probably that she can say the most about this.
Yep. It's taboo.
At least tell
But
us
it's connected
what
to SL9. Let's try Angel Star again.
Okay.
The days must be really short, and I hope Phoenix Wright gets enough food with all of her running around we're doing.
No. Once again.
I'm gonna look this up. So,
They don't want it.
letter of resignation, we've done
Got
this.
that.
We have opened the safe.
We did that.
We have assembled the... Back to Chief Gant's office. We have once again made the same mistake, Tifa.
What was it?
We haven't done our breathing exercise together.
What?
Chief's office.
What did we
Court
skip?
record
Court record?
and luminol.
For real?
Yep.
Oh my god. You know, sometimes they give hints, like earlier where I thought like, oh, you didn't even really need to do that because I think here would have been clear. And now there's like, oh, we need to...
We have
No
found the
one's-
last piece of the vase in this place. What more do we need?
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, take some air. Okay, I'm clicking faster because there's... Oh! Yeah, it was on the ground, of course.
There we go. I was gonna say we need to slide, but fair enough.
Whoa! This area must have been covered in blood. Also, thank you, Psycho, for pshing with us.
For seeing with us. Is this from that incident?
It must be. When Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, 2 years have passed, so the reaction's kind of dull.
That's...
I thought it was really bright, honestly.
Wouldn't you think that this shouldn't happen after 2 years of cleaning people coming through here?
One would think so.
Also, I don't know if you can hear the birds outside, but they agree with the psh, 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 psh. So a murder really did take place here. Did you think Emma was lying? Time to slide and more psh, psh, psh. Alright.
Ready? Also, if I click here, it goes to the left.
Yeah, because you went down.
I think we're good.
Slide
Examine again.
Slide.
Then slide here. Excuse
No.
me, where did the psh?
You're not in luminol mode.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, wait.
So we need to go
We also have thingy.
But
The
we didn't really
aluminium
talk.
dust.
We didn't really talk about the blood yet.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, then fingerprints and blood in Japanifornia doesn't follow the rules.
Apparently.
Apparently not. Oh,
It's like radioactive or something. You will never get rid of it.
you can't use the fingerprint set.
Can we talk to Gumshoe about this?
That makes more sense.
Nope.
No. Wait, do I need to do
Alright.
it again and then we forgot to examine it or something? Where's that?
I get.
Oh.
No, that was wrong button. You need to press.
Oh.
No. Breathe, Tifa, breathe. Yes. Spray.
Spray.
So.
Okay, you can. Is there more here that we need to? No.
Nope. Slide again.
So the only thing we actually wanted to see was that there was actually a murder.
How is.
Well, the murder took place there. It makes sense that only there's blood.
This is annoying me.
Okay.
Alright.
I would think now we're actually done. So where do we
Let me
move
double
to?
check. Let me double check.
Okay.
So, put the thingy together.
Wait, cloth. Where is that cloth? Because it says here we need to check that for a fingerprint scan.
Oh my. I didn't know we could do this. So, we go to the court record, then we go to the vase, then we check the vase.
Okay.
And then we...
Oh.
You know, we talked about there being blood on it, but we didn't look at there being blood on it.
Oh.
Because, you know, those are two totally different things.
Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here.
It looks like blood.
This piece the chief has is different, though. The bloodstains on the other pieces are just spots, but this one's a line.
That is odd.
So it's a fingerprint smear.
Yes, and now we somehow need to use the fingerprinting stuff on that. Is there a combine menu for this?
How do we use this, though? Also, it says in the thingy we need to use it on the cloth that we found. But
now
where
for
is
the
cloth?
Present the fingerprinting set.
Oh, we need to present. Okay, wait. Go back to it again. And have to scroll down.
Oh, present it to him.
Yeah.
I guess he kept the leather cloth.
Now we say, hey. We're getting there.
Have any of you ever played those like old point and click games like Secret of Monkey Island and stuff? Because some of the things we need to do remind me a lot of that. Like, make sure that the character understands to use that item in this instance on that screen with that... Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints?
It's a great idea, Detective.
Alright, go to town. Sheesh.
What did we do with our chairs? Am I connected again?
Nothing.
What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that?
Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
Oh, it's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Huh?
Oh, come on.
Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe.
Oh, I knew that. There was a handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's the sense of humor?
Non-billable hours.
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed in the print, blow the rest away.
What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Yes, I do. Alright, let's get this over with.
Do it.
Alright, you ready? Oh.
Well, that... Oh. Oh no, I was the blowing away. Yeah, good job.
Ready to blow?
Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful print.
I gave it my best shot.
That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it?
But it doesn't look like we get a clear result from this print.
Okay, let's try a different finger then. And which one did you...
Cool.
Which one did you do?
Index finger. Ready? Nope. Nope.
Still not.
Remember
Go
that
for-
spray to on MS Paint? I remember. Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
I bet it's based on the... It has to be the middle finger, like that's such a big fuck you.
That was good.
Mm,
Oh, come on.
the top. There we go.
Dude, please.
Much better. Do Gant. Oh wait,
It's not Damon
Gant.
Gant.
Nope. Yeah,
Emma Sky.
yeah. Compare.
So Emma is the serial murderer.
Why do I think
Oh my God,
this
I
is
get
what
it.
he's using to blackmail Lana?
I get it now. I get it, Tifa. At her tender age. Yes. That's why I became a scientific investigator.
This is the blackmail material.
I just figured something out.
What?
Skye, S-K-Y-E, isn't their last name. It's code. S-K-Y-E is a code. It's an abbreviation. You ready?
Here it comes. Hope you're all sitting down.
S-K-Y-E. Serial killer you expected. I rest my case. Emma did it. Emma is the murderer. Emma is the true Joe Dark. Serial killer, young Emma. Also works, yeah? The fact that both of these work, she did it. She is not actually 16. 16. Nah.
She's 16. Is
She's
that legal?
16. No.
16.
At her tender age. She's actually, it's this anime trope. She's this 1,000-year-old dragon demon spirit. She just looks like she's 16. That's why she keeps getting away with it. The squeaking bottle agrees. Hello, Evie. Happy Friday. How are you doing? I don't believe it. I object to that.
Serial killer?
Yes, evidently.
Coincidence? I think not.
Wait.
Apparently.
I have one last thing to confirm the truth. Let's make sure the lie detector thingy works. It's a bullshit detector, remember, people. Okay, it's working. It's tuned. Now,
what did I say?
I can see the chat there. I will check your statements. Listen closely if there's bullshit. You ready? No bullshit detected. Let's check again. It's Emma. It's Emma.
I mean, it has to be true now.
Always has been.
It has to be true. Unbelievable. Haven't been great lately? I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be better soon.
Yes.
Did your game already arrive at least?
I hope Raincoat arrived by now. If it hasn't yet,
on?
everybody at Amazon deserves to be fired who's working on that.
Well, yes, we already had a short rant about Amazon and that.
Yes, we already gave our opinion on the capitalistic cream of a crop. It arrived. Are you enjoying the game? Is it good? Because I was about to buy it. It was on sale for like $10 off, but I didn't yet. I was waiting for your verdict. Doesn't make Skinner's joke earlier any better.
It
Skinner
really
knew. We need to ban Skinner. He spoiled it for us. Yeah. See what you did there, Skinner?
Gotta be honest with you, I fucking hated this case. It just keeps going.
I understand what you're saying.
Feel exactly the same. This one just feels too long.
This
the point
case could have been its own game.
Almost, yeah. To the point where I feel like after this, I need a small break from Phoenix Wright.
I feel like... No, listen. If you played the original release and then later this one with a DLC, I think it's cool because I bought the game that I already played. It's like on a different console.
I mean, you get so much more for it.
Now you get a whole new case, and it's, to me, this feels like it's as long as the entire first 4 episodes. So that's cool for all of these people. I feel like it's long, and I'm looking forward to the other entries being more streamlined with their, look, you found a handprint, we need to check that, versus, so you found a handprint. Let's take samples of me. I say,
I still have a hate-love relationship with it. I did start to like the characters in it, but I think they could have cut a few corners in this case.
It could have been streamlined. If I ever do another remake of this, I would watch this as an anime. I think there it would be like 2 episodes, maybe 3. Not us taking 20 hours just in this case alone.
So enjoying it so far. I will say that so far it feels like it's living in Danganronpa's shadow.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna be afraid that was be the case, but then again it's also really hard to top that.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's hard to make lightning strike 4 times.
Yeah.
And like,
But as
Could
long
they
as
have
it's
done
good
Danganronpa before?
and you're enjoying it, then it should still be worth it.
True. True.
So after the first game, they realized, 3 full trial days is way too long. I'm kind of happy with that. Especially the, like, you're already on a case, and then you want to present something, but that's not happening until, like, the 3rd day, and it's like, oh, let's get there.
Yes. All of these things. It's so long because literally was the only incentive to buy the DS release. Yeah, same with all the gimmicks, wanted to use all of the DS's capabilities.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, if you have the option, I understand putting it in. It makes less sense on the PC.
Nah, if you're a first-time player. On the DS release, bottom tier, if you happen to know that, could you skip directly to episode 5, or did you have to replay the entire game first to unlock episode 5 like here? Because if you bought like as a collector's thing because you're a fan of a franchise, and then you could immediately do this, I would get that. But having to replay for the first 4 and then to come into this, like, well, you see how well we're doing, so you get the point.
But I still want to play the rest.
Yeah.
Just not right away after this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you make a delicious stew, and there's a lot, and you eat it, and it's good, but you eat, and you're full, and you realize the whole pot is left. There's more stew, and that's good because you like stew, but it doesn't seem to get any less.
I've now been eating it for 5 days. I need to
and it doesn't seem to want to end. I mean, I've got the walkthrough open. I can tell you that we are in the last third, I think. Last third-ish, somewhere. So we're getting somewhere, but...
Sorry.
Stew, people. Stew. So a lot of the game left. It could impress me. I hope it does. If it's not as good as Danganronpa, but still a great game, I'm okay with that. But it would be so nice if it's as good as this.
I mean, you're still in the beginning, so plenty of time.
Vaguely remember there being a way to unlock all the cases, but it might have been a thing only later games. Maybe like a button combination or something. A cheat code. Maybe it was 7777777.
Let me try.
Yeah, do that. Suddenly ending.
Oh, how can this be?
No.
It unlocked all the games.
No. How can this be?
Would have been a funny follow-up.
What are Emma's fingerprints doing here?
Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they?
Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints.
Hey, psst. Hey you, over here.
It has to be blackmail.
What's going on here? What are that kid's prince doing inside the chief's safe?
Also, look at Gumshoe being...
He's trying.
Yeah, being... what do you call it?
Tactful?
Yes. Like not, hey, I saw it was her print or something like that.
I honestly don't think Gumshoe is like dumb, but Gumshoe has a very Gumshoe way of doing things.
Yeah, but often he's a bit like me. He doesn't have the tact.
He's a lot like you.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he
not a
just
bit. He's
goes,
a lot like
oh,
you.
what's that? And it's like, oh yeah. Shh.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Shh. Like that kind of thing.
It was a button combo into a reset or something like this. That sounds like a Capcom thing, circa 2001-ish, yeah.
That sounds like we won't find out.
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
Yes, we should have from the
Now
beginning.
we get it.
Found in Chief Gant's safe. Evidence for something but what? Bears Emma Sky's prints. Wait, I know what that is until... I mean, I wanted to show you, but Tifa clicked to the word.
We can... well, I can still go there now.
That's not a leather cloth, by the way, people. That's a piece of human skin.
Human skin. No, it's not.
I wanted to go even deeper into the Gant as a huge piece of shit.
Oh. Is that what you wanted to show?
Yes.
Oh.
But now we overdid it. Instead of it being a throwaway line, now it was a whole thing, and now it was like...
Well, was there any help?
Of course. Thanks to ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence.
Ah, look who came.
No, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? You in the code?
Chief Grant!
Wait, 10 seconds? Oh, I expected Phoenix to now do the late jump scare.
No! How did you get here? We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in science. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look at a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole.
No.
Just when I thought of a certain detective.
Do you mean me, sir?
Especially here, he does have the puppy dog eyes.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry I chewed through your shoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the code.
Me, sir?
Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore.
But, sir...
Now, get out.
Yes, sir.
I like how he left the safe wide open.
We're pretty bad burglars. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait, you the one without the spiky hair. That's Emma.
Without the spiky hair.
Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
Oh, no, thank you. My sister's waiting for me. But sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You with the spiky hair. You are free to go.
Mr. Wright! Okay, bye Emma. See you outside.
Did we seriously leave
See
Emma?
you later.
We are not letting Emma alone with Gant. We wouldn't. You wouldn't. Phoenix Wright just did.
Well...
Speechless. Honestly,
happens to-
speechless.
You need a lawyer in the presence of a minor
Okay,
talking
so,
to the police?
not in Japan, funny
Oh,
though.
yeah, sorry.
Besides,
He's 16 after all.
exactly, and when you're 16, things are different. I'm sorry, but Gumshoe has just been fired, right? That's what we just witnessed. That's not just me interpreting it. Okay. Why the fuck would he care for his orders?
For his what?
So we broke into your office. Yeah, that morally we can argue that case, okay? But that doesn't matter. We broke into your office. We found concrete evidence that you are somehow connected to something really shady going on. And that's weird. And you should be investigated for that. Now, you just fired the 6-foot-something truck of a person over there, who isn't the smartest tool in the shed, but he has his heart in the right place, and he protects his friends. And you just tell him, leave, and he goes, yes, sir.
I mean, yes, he just got fired.
He's still the chief of police. He can get arrested for trespassing.
Yeah.
Then let him call the other police officers.
You have no direct evidence currently. Nothing that we found is in a has anything directly to do with the case in their eyes at the moment.
The piece of a vase.
Yeah, that doesn't say anything currently.
Hey, thank you guys for showing up to escort me and my friend, your former colleague, out of here.
You're a day ahead. This isn't until day 4.
No, but tell that to the police officers who will be asked to come in to escort you and put you into jail for being arrested for trespassing. I'm saying let it happen.
No, we don't want that.
At least, I understand why Phoenix might not want to, because he needs to be able to go to court tomorrow to defend Lana. Okay. No, fine. But Gumshoe?
No, it's not how it works.
He could whistle-blow the whole thing.
This is Japanifornia. Besides, who's gonna believe Detective Gumshoe over Gant?
I would. He made the Blue Badger.
I mean, that is true, but you have no influence.
I should. This is why you should vote me for Chief of Police in Japanifornia.
Look, Pearl, I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
What's he gonna do, bring him an espresso? After that I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. And what is Gant doing with Emma now? He's 100% trying to intimidate her into being quiet. Exactly.
I do like how they're only questioning the minor. That was probably like kind of forced or manipulated into this whole situation. Instead of talking to the adult, that probably made the decision of going through with it.
3 people go into the room and the only person being asked in for questions is the underage girl that was attached to the case this whole thing has to do with. How... I get that Gant might have people in their pockets, but how are all of these people okay with it? How do they just go, well, the chief said it, so I guess we're just doing our jobs. Friday's in it.
Game-wise, it makes sense because they want to keep us out
of
the blue of what happened in the office.
No, yes, like the story needs to happen. We need to hate Gant even more so that he gets comeuppance and when we all feel righteous and good because fuck they win.
Otherwise we would have seen that Mr. Goodman was killed again.
And this time it was by Emma in Gant's office. Correct. Spoilers, bottom tier.
This poor dude, man.
Is she finally gonna crack now and become a normal human being and start caring in ways that we hope she would?
Well, she has to know he's dangerous, so maybe this... Oh, sorry, will mean something.
I hope so.
I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning.
It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here.
But I've already told you all I can.
He has
told
your
nothing.
sister.
Absolutely nothing.
He has your sister, who you're trying to protect. Please show us any emotions that show us that you care. I hope they have good reasons for this. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing, not a single useful thing.
Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman.
You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words.
Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right.
Edgeworth?
Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise.
Isn't that with most people?
Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe.
Same. Goodman was already dead when she put the knife in his corpse. I think that's
the
truth.
You might be onto something there.
My question is, how did they make him stand up?
And that's how they're going to save Lana out of this. Because you can't be the murderer.
You can't kill a dead man.
Exactly. You have a very good point there.
I fully believe that when we unravel all of this bullshittery, it's gonna be that all of these people actually had like a pact. They set all of this up so that this investigation with Phoenix Wright could happen. And with Edgeworth and everybody else so that they could nail Gant. I fully believe that's what's gonna happen at the end. But could you please give us something to work with, Lana, please?
Well, let's have a look.
Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual.
What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person?
Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence.
For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of?
Are we playing the game where we don't mention the person? Or?
Who is this person that I'm supposedly so afraid of? What is this person's name?
Officer Meekins.
Well, honestly, do you see this face? That's intimidating.
Somebody who can pull their upper lip all the way under their nose.
Goodman. Do it, bitch. Do it.
I'm not confident with all the logic holds so far, but I hope I'm wrong. Yeah.
I'm not just gonna fuck you up, but also your mama.
This is deep. I am agreeing with you, Bottom Tier. She was afraid of herself, clearly. There's 2 wolves inside all of us.
That is really deep. Oh.
She was afraid of Bruce Goodman, which is why she stabbed him. Well, Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place.
I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think, you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective.
Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes?
His crimes?
Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically hiding and forging evidence.
Of course, these are serious offenses.
Why is it though that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned?
Chief Gant?
Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party... Somebody else sounds.
Someone outside of the window just sneezed. Sorry.
How the hell did she turn away while sitting on a chair? Well, Bottom
It's probably
tier,
a
that's an
turning
easy question.
Chair.
Oh, that's an easy answer.
Usually though, in these rooms, they don't have a spinning office chair.
You see, Bottom Tier, the answer always was inside of you. Swivel chairs. It's those really shitty, cheap ones.
Or it's the ones without a back thing. You know, the...
Like a bar stool, kind of.
Yeah, the absolute crappy ones. That will give you a lower backache.
Yeah, I hate those. I never understand why like pubs and bars and cafes have those. Because usually I would think they want you to sit there to consume more stuff, spend more time there, give them more money. But I've been to places where like you sit at the bar and it's like these really uncomfortable chairs and I'm like, I don't want to be here.
Well, usually
My
it gives,
ass hurts.
in bars especially, it gives you more freedom to also like move back, talk to someone there, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about those really uncomfortable ones.
Oh, sure.
Like a normal bar stool is fine, but they have some really bad ones.
They don't want you hogging the bar.
Or maybe my ass is just weird. Can we check that, Tifa? Can I get... Oh, wait, let me... No, it's not gonna happen. On Sunday, yoga stream with Jack.
Does my ass look weird?
Does my ass look fat in the skin tan outfit? The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was...
Me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation.
Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant.
No! If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsifies evidence in that case. Oh, I like how passionate you are, stealing...
All my homies hate Damon Gant. I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SR9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him?
Touché, Mr. Wright.
No, it's touchy.
It's as you surmised. Cannot disobey the chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
In the murder of Detective Goodman.
Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details. I can say that I was given an order that day.
I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body.
Okay, you were absolutely right, Psycho, because there you have it. Goodman was already dead.
Yep. Honest Psycho. You are now an official lawyer. Well done.
You were the killer.
True, how did you know? You knew because you killed Bruce Goodman.
You bastard! How dare you? How dare you show up here like every other day? Thank you for that, by the way. And still make fun of a situation. I couldn't handle the truth. Is this why Honest Psycho is called Honest Psycho? Oh my god, it was in your name the entire time. It's Honest Psycho. You never even concealed it. That's okay. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Atrov's car. The perfect cover. Yeah, just tell people. And then they go, oh, funny, what a username. Well, you know, I actually killed Bruce Whitman.
I like how you managed to spit on the screen.
Yeah, I did.
With your passion.
Remember how I said I wipe disgusting things on Tifa? There you go. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman.
Correct. Dum, dum, dum. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered the murder weapon while inspecting the body.
The murder weapon? You mean Atrov's knife?
No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it.
The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife.
I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. I couldn't bear to see the knife inside of him. So, next.
This is like next level Feng Shui. That's how you pronounce it in German. I don't know how you pronounce it in Chinese or for American audiences. I think it's Feng Shui technically. You know, the thing where you rearrange items to like give you the best energy flow. like,
you know, he looks better dead with the other.
This knife doesn't spark joy. Wait, much better. That would be Atrov's knife.
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand.
And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand?
Yes. It seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in.
Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly?
It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible.
So you hid Dark's knife?
The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporter would have a field day with that. Oh wait, sorry. I forgot. It's my turn again.
Please, turn away. So, you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Atrov's exhaust pipe.
Can we still talk about how they managed to drag his body out of the police station into Atrov's car, which they found out had a broken lock?
I'd rather talk about how at least half a fandom would like to stick something in the Atrov's exhaust pipe.
Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler.
I shouldn't drink something when I say these things. You asked Emma?
I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this.
That would explain why Emma is so confident. About Lana's innocence.
Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day.
A bad feeling?
The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. To Patrolman Jake Marshall.
To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him?
The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off and escaped on an escapade on his own.
Oh, you mean...
Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands.
Yeah, he still wanted justice for his brother.
That makes sense why he got triggered to do it now.
He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence.
He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room?
I'm afraid that's all I can tell you.
But Lana...
You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright. Both as a defense attorney and an investigator.
But not as a human being.
Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow.
Tomorrow's trial, there's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago.
Tum, tum, tum.
Why did Gant kill all of these people? Only just for personal gain to get into a position of power?
Isn't that triple safe even, after all? We
Wait,
just went
no.
for, hey, we got 69! No!
No, Tifa, we need to save 7 times for the amount of times Bruce Goodman has been killed.
At least get to 7 minutes, 77.
A minute doesn't have 77 seconds. Alright?
Wow.
So we've been playing this game for 77 seconds now, and actually, this is not a joke. Now, when we're streaming video games, usually, if I have a moment, I set them up a little bit before the stream. Sometimes I do it while we're talking.
This time we didn't.
The playtime for Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy so far is 62.8 hours. Now I'm hoping we won't need 77.7 hours according to Steam to beat this game. But this is us we're talking about, so there's a chance. And if that were to happen, that would be really funny to me. I feel like I've been playing this case alone for 77 hours already. Because it's long.
It does kind of feel like that.
Yeah. But we've made it to the last day of the trial.
One more day. One more day.
Yeah.
Oh, I am done for sitting in this chair today.
Thank fuck. Yeah.
I really do appreciate you hating on this trial with us and still sticking around through all of it, though.
Yes.
It's like, oh, what am I doing to myself?
I appreciate that. I honestly, from the bottom, like, no sarcasm, no joking. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. It's hate watching at this point.
It's like,
us of a game.
I must find out who fucking killed Bruceman.
Yeah. Bruceman?
Goodman.
A good Bruceman.
Also, wait, were you implying I was sarcastic?
What? At which part? What?
You were like, oh, jokes aside and no sarcasm.
No, but I...
Like, I was doing the whole, oh, I appreciate it, and then you're like, oh, I don't have sarcasm.
No, not you. With how often I do and say things sarcastically, a lot of times, like, people like have a hard time telling when I'm being honest and myself and serious, and when I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, it's
so
okay.
I just... When it's been a while, I try to make a habit to be like, no, this is like this is me, this is serious. Aww, thank you. Depends. I'll take it. I'll take it.
If I can't make you love me, then at least I want you to hate me.
We're almost getting there.
Both of your voice acting is good too. Thank you.
Oh, we'll take it.
I
was thinking we should actually take like a little class on voice acting with how many...
I would love to.
With how many visual novels we're doing.
Yeah.
Like I can do like 3 voices.
I feel like I've got 2 voices.
And that's kind of it before we need to start recycling them. And it's like, hey y'all.
One of the hardest things for me when like I work on these videos, like when I upload them later to YouTube and cut out the breaks. like do with timestamps, is listening to myself. Because when we played Undertale, for example, where there were like several different characters that we tried to give different voices to.
Yes.
I'm trying. I'm not a voice actor. I don't have this like range of voices I can do. Some people, they can just change their voice and I couldn't tell you that it's the same person that I just listened to.
Yeah, some people are insane.
That's crazy like talented to me or skilled. I don't know if they specifically went out to learn that. But I'm trying, and in my head, the voice I hear when I speak sounds different.
It's so different.
And then I listen to the video and I'm like...
They all sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
I had it especially during Danganronpa. The only thing where I could tell a difference is like maybe during crying scenes and stuff like that. I feel like I'm good at those scenes.
See, with Danganronpa though, one thing I did appreciate from the standpoint of like voicing the lines was that every character also had spoken lines from the actual voice actors.
It didn't help though.
So for example with Byakuya, he had a very specific way of his inflection. I know it was different. I couldn't do it from the top of my head because it's been like over a year since I last did that, like the way of speaking like him. Like his emphasis on words was not where I would put it. And at least I could modulate my way of speaking when I did his lines on that. These games with zero voice acting give me nothing. I mean, I know how Phoenix Wright says objection. And I learned way too late that Von Karma has this demonic deep voice that I can't do. And if I can try to reach down there, this is the lowest I can go and I cannot keep it up. My throat is gonna be fucked if I do this for 2 hours.
I feel like even if you have something, it's already too late because usually you already try to put something on it. But
your Aubrey impressions were great too. Thank you.
Appreciate it. There was only one moment where I was kind of proud during Aubrey's big breakthrough at the lake. Was that a mosquito that tried to land on me?
Yes. Snack on her, she's cuter than me.
Actually, that's a little moth because we have the window wide open.
Oh, yeah. And no fly now.
I was just wondering.
Skill issue.
Had a lot of
we need a thingy there.
But that's a good idea. We could technically write it off of Texas.
Lamp. Yeah. It's true. No, we couldn't.
Why not? It is work. It is a work thing.
Yes, but us streaming is a self-employed work kind of thing.
So you can't...
I have no idea. I don't know anything about taxes. I mean, I do our taxes, but like, I wing it to the best of my ability. Like, I don't lie.
Yeah, we're not very good at this taxes thing because we are affiliates and we also get like subs and stuff. We did have to start a company, which is a bit shittier.
We thought we did, so we did.
It's a bit shittier when you're 2 people and not just 1 person. So we also have no clue on how to do our Twitch taxes.
This nobody cares, but this is true. I've actually reached out to a tax advisor firm that I found yesterday evening when I was Googling about this, who specifically, according to the website at least, helps like YouTube partners and Twitch affiliates and stuff. Because to this day, we've been affiliates for like 2 years now?
Like
something like that?
2.5.
No, just under 2. November.
No, we had our 3-year anniversary.
Streaming anniversary. November 2021.
We became affiliates after 6 months of streaming.
We've been affiliates for a while.
2.5 years.
To this day, we never finished the affiliate tax interview thing.
So we also can't take out money.
we've never received a single cent from Twitch. That's fine. That's because of us not doing this thing.
At some point, Bezos goes like, "Okay, mine now."
Thank you for the money. I'll invest it for you. I would like to do that interview thing at some point because I should. But yeah, I can't. I've looked at it again yesterday. I've spent 2 hours looking at it and
don't understand it.
It might as well be hieroglyphics. I can't make heads and tails. Is the money saved somewhere? Yeah. Twitch keeps it for you until you
it stays on your
fill
account.
everything in, and then if you reach the threshold, then they pay it out. So it's not like we lost anything.
If you have everything set up correctly, technically, if you reach, what is it,
50
bucks a month, it gets paid out automatically.
No, if you reach 50 bucks, then it gets paid out.
Yeah, if that's what I said. If you reach the...
Yeah, but you said per month. That implies that if you don't reach 50 in a month, it doesn't get paid out.
Oh, like that. Yeah, okay, fair. If you reach 50 bucks, it gets paid out automatically, unless you set it up to not do that, which we did, since we don't have this stuff in order. And I'm guessing it stays there until forever. I have no clue.
Yeah, just doesn't get paid out.
Yeah, it's just laying around.
Yeah, so why am I saying this? I couldn't even write it off of taxes because I don't have an income.
Oh yeah, true. We were actually in the red last year during our taxes because we've only been spending money on games and stuff.
Yeah, but we were gonna do it anyway.
I mean, yeah.
It's a left pocket, right pocket kind of thing. Oh, now they're technically expenses for this company we set up because we bought the games through the Nobody cares. I mean, yes, the Finanzamt, the German IRS does. Like I said, I do hand this all in correctly, and like, I think once I wasn't too sure where to put a number, and then I just did what made the most sense, and then like I put in this note like, I did this because of that and these reasons. If this was wrong, I'm terribly sorry. And I have to say, again, the Finanzamt, the German IRS, in my experience with them, they're super chill. Like once I made a mistake in my private tax statement, and then when they did my taxes, like they went through what I handed in, they're like, yeah, no, this was wrong, so we just fixed this for you, and here's 40 bucks that we owe you from tax. I'm like,
I'm not sure what super chill is though. I mean, I once had to pay them €1.13, which the letter, because the physical letter I got, which probably had someone licking the stamps on there, cost more
postage,
than what I actually...
printing, ink, paper, all combined cost more than we had to pay
transfer
back in taxes 2 years ago. With me, it was 2 something, and it was usually like $1 something.
Yeah, €1.13, something like that.
Yes.
It's like at that point, is it really worth it? I think in the Netherlands, the
I would think
line is $10.
Yeah, I would think there should be a threshold. But then again, would you also agree that if they should give you less than $10 back, that they get to keep it? Exactly.
But that's just a transfer.
Fair enough.
Which is already part of what they're calculating and everything. And it's less work than telling me to go do it.
In a perfect world, I would like it if it's like minuscule amounts of money that they just tell you, hey, you owed this money. Because it's such little. Good slide. So little.
Oh well, it will all work out. Let's not...
You know what I'm not gonna let slide though?
What?
My question to ask you if there's somebody for us to raid.
I say let's go say hi to T. Who
T is streaming.
Yeah. New PC.
That's been a while. When was the last time we were able to raid T?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. Playing Dave the Diver.
That's been months, I want to say. So let's use that opportunity as it presents itself onto us.
You guys might have seen T-Racer in chat sometimes. Also streams every now and then. What I do love about T's streams is that she usually plays these games that you've never seen before.
Yes.
Like these very weird indie type of things. And it's like, how on earth
did you find that? How do you even know this game exists?
Exactly.
Yes, I fully agree.
Like Dave the Diver. Also never heard of that.
It looks kind of cute. I need to learn more about this, so let's head over. If you cannot stick around for the raid, please click there. You should check out T. She's awesome. Check her out whenever it's convenient for you. Tifa, anything left to say, or are you going to press the button?
Pressing the button.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We'll be back on Sunday with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. See you then. Bye.
Bye.